Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Hollywood After Dark, episode number 53. Today is the 18th of August, 2021, and we're going to be talking about potentially what could have been evil Superman versus a Suicide Squad, Anthony Mackie, Captain America, confirmed, and a whole lot more. Let's get into it right now. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to the show tonight. Sorry I'm not on camera. I am feeling kind of under the weather. That's just, unfortunately, today I'm just not really feeling the best. Kind of tired. It is what it is. But I do want to still do a show. I want to talk to you guys. I want to see what's going on. And I definitely want to give a massive shout out to our channel members. You guys are the lifeblood that keeps Hollywood After Dark alive. If you want to see your name on this list, if you want to see your name in big, bright, white letters here on the channel, there it is, link in the video description to join. Become a channel member, help it out there. You guys can also join the Patreon, patreon.com/MattJarbo, become a channel supporter there, and anyone who hooks up with that this particular month is going to get entered into the drawing to win a 4K Ultra HD Howard the Duck. I keep talking about it. I want to keep drawing attention to it. Duck titties in 4K. It's worth it. It's worth it. Duck titties in 4K. That, of course, is the big thing of the day. So I wanted to get that shilling out of the way. Got to get that all done. And listen, there's another thing I want to ask you guys tonight. I didn't talk about this, but are you guys excited for Clerks 3? I am exceptionally excited for Clerks 3. I cannot wait to go back into this world to see it conclude. I've been watching this whole thing play out since the 90s, and it's wild to grow up with these characters. And I want to know your thoughts. I want to know your thoughts. I also want to say thank you. Thank you guys for being here right now, because you could be over on Twitch watching such riveting content like Amaranth sucking on the earlobe of an ASMR binaural microphone. That's some sexualized content you're not going to get here on Hollywood After Dark. But if you're looking to get your FAP on, you can head over to twitch.com/Amaranth, drop her some money, and whack it to your heart's content. But if you want some hardcore movie news, movie commentary, and movie discussion, you're not going to find another place. You're not going to find a better place here than Hollywood After Dark. So, like, as Miss Minutes might say, smash the fuck out that like. Smash that like, or she'll shoot me. Not you, she'll shoot me, because this is how it's going to work. She's going to hold me hostage for you guys to smack that like. So, all right, those are my little bit of things right there. Also, just 'cause I just got this before going live tonight, last month on the channel, I gave away the Lifetime, or the Life magazine, celebrating 40 years of Indiana Jones. Real Elmo Cinema was the winner of that. I sent it off to him last week because he asked me to autograph it. I autographed the inside of it, and I was just sent this image tonight. He received the Indiana Jones magazine in the mail, safe and sound, complete with my with my autograph, which is still something weird to say out loud. But that, of course, is something that I'm very happy that we were able to share. And thank you very much for your support. Elmo, I as always, I appreciate you. Let's take a quick talk here into the chat, see what you guys are up to tonight. H. Bart says, I'm back to my normal. Also, my work is anti-vaccine, and I'm like, bruh, dude, you know what, man? You live in Michigan. You Michiganders are kind of weird. All right, I get it. No one likes to get the pokey. Nobody wants to get the Fauci ouchie. I understand that, but guess what? It saves lives. If you want to go see a movie, tell your friend, ask your coworkers, do you guys like going to see a movie? Do you like going to a bar? Do you like getting an overpriced hand job at a local strip club? You got to go and get the jab. You get the jab, you can go back to the real world to some extent. If you don't get the jab, you might die. And I'm letting that set in for effect because it's absolutely true. I don't know about you. I want to go back to the fucking movies. I got my jab. We have to figure that out. Anyway, Dark Piece here says, hey man, how much is the Boss Baby level of Patreon? I haven't figured that one out yet. I'm going to be working on that and everything else to it. But we will be talking about everything tonight here. So I hope you guys are all having a good day. I hope you guys are all having a great night. There is a lot here that is going on. No Mikey Sutton tonight. I think at this point it's probably just going to be me. Mad Max here says, never mind, gonna watch Amaranth You knew how to spell the name properly, Max, which tells me that you probably already know everything you need to know about Amaranth. And if you happen to, if it came out that you were a member of her OnlyFans, I don't think I or anyone you know would be exceptionally, I should say surprised and or disturbed. Charbo, is there a voicemail link? Yeah, the number's the voicemail number. I'll drop it right here. We will be checking it out tonight. There it is right there. 323-305-4101, 323-305-4101. And there was a comment that I saw here that I wanted to talk about. Dark Beast asking the question, what did you think about the very sexy What If T'Challa became Star-Lord? Loved how much it deviated from the canon. And I know a lot of people out there really enjoyed Star-Lord's episode. In fact, my buddy here just popping on in, we were supposed to talk about it tonight. We were supposed to really do a recording, which unfortunately I overslept. I took a nap. I had to take a nap, and I slept until nearly like 4 p.m. And so obviously we could talk about that right now if you want, RJ. We could do about 10 minutes or something like that. So totally. we could go into the spoils of of the episode and talk about that for a few. Because I don't know about you. I loved the episode. I was enamored with the episode.
I thought it was fantastic, honestly.
It was wonderful. It was so good hearing his voice again. And here's just to quickly kind of recap, people. This episode was not the last time you will hear him as T'Challa.
No, there are 4 episodes this season.
Yes. So there are 3 more episodes where you will get to see him come back. This might just be like the one that was centered on him. But what they did with the episode, like, opened up this possibility of like, oh yeah, like I would actually like to kind of see that in a movie. That's why I said these things need to be like an hour and a half long, because I would like to see his exploits, because the whole concept, and this is where our friend Max is in the chat, and I think it's kind of funny that he said this earlier. There was a complaint last week, right? There was a complaint by the usual suspects, of people who you would see populate shows like Friday Night Whites. And they get upset. They get really butthurt at the fact that there was a muscular woman. I think one of the comments was, they just put a woman's head on Captain America's bodies. I mean,
she does everything better than him.
Which is not true at all. Like, they make cracks about the USO show sales. They make cracks about all sorts of stuff in that episode. Was it a little fast paced? Absolutely. Did it need a bit more time to flesh things out? Absolutely. But it wasn't a point for point remake of the first Avenger. It felt like it, which was the whole point. That was the aesthetic, in which they nailed it. But you know what, though? The whole thing ended entirely differently. They brought in like that gigantic Cthulhu-like creature that killed Red Skull. Obviously, it was a different thing. So people were upset that they thought that, again, Captain Carter was just a Captain America clone, or a copy with just a female head on it. This time around, people are upset that it's the opposite of that T'Challa isn't Star-Lord.
Yeah, which is too much like himself. He's not exactly like Star-Lord, which is kind of the point.
It's exactly the point. Like, the whole thing is...
The title of the episode is What If T'Challa Became a Star-Lord? Not the Star-Lord, not Peter Quill, not like the exact same storyline. Like, obviously, he's not got the musical connection or any of that stuff. Like, it's Black Panther in space, basically.
Yeah, it's really weird. It is like Black Panther in space, but it doesn't have the same kind of like, he has, okay, here's the thing. T'Challa, when he was like 10 in like 1988, gets taken instead of Peter Quill.
Yeah, because Yondu sends his subordinates to do it.
Well, he sends Kraglin and Taserface to do it. And they screw up. So, then it's like, okay, so then we go forward 20 years. Well, the thing is T'Challa, he is his father's son, and he carries that with him. That was instilled into him upon birth. His childhood was all about doing the right thing, being the right leader, and him always wanting to be an explorer. And that was something that he still exuded over time, over 2 decades. He actually were able to convince Yondu, who became a surrogate father, to go straight. To actually do good things.
Yeah, he basically turned the Ravagers into like his Guardians of the Galaxy, basically.
Pretty much. Yeah, they turned them into the Guardians of the Galaxy, going as far as to, and I love this. It caught me by surprise, RJ. I loved it. Thanos.
Dude,
I was laughing so hard.
When what's his name? Korath, I think. When he talks about, how'd you stop the Mad Titan Thanos? And he says, he puts his arm on him and says, I had a change of heart. He talked me out of it. I was like, that is amazing. This is the best
great.
Thing ever.
Yeah, and then T'Challa follows it up by saying, like, sometimes the best arsenal is a good argument, or the best weapon in your arsenal is a good argument, and then like he brought the Mad Titan, and then they made him a Ravager, but everyone calls him Captain Genocide.
Yes, they keep joking about it.
So funny, and he's still trying to argue it. Like, no, it's random. It's not I loved it.
Yeah, because it's not a genocide. It's random. It's randomly selecting you.
Yeah, and I just love the fact that he's like, okay, I understand that my argument was wrong, but I'm still going to have my argument, and I'm going to sit there and I'm still going to back it up.
See, I wish the episode would have been like 10 to 20 minutes longer, just so I could have seen that conversation in the show. I wanted
more. I wanted more of everything. I wanted more. I just thought it was great. Like, I thought it was awesome at the beginning of it when he's on Morag and Korath's like, oh, you're Star-Lord. Oh my God, I'm a big fan.
Now he's a celebrity, basically.
Yeah, he's a celebrity.
He's a nobody.
Yeah, which was also great about that too, was I love that line there at the end when he's all like, oh, hey, can I get, can I get a job with you? And then he's all like, first he says no, and he looks back, I've hired worse. And then he picks him up and he starts taking him out of the temple as the other guys show up. I just thought that was hysterical. Yeah. I was laughing
Nebula
so hard
was
at
great
that.
in this episode too. Blonde Nebula. Obviously this like flirtation. She calls him Cha-Cha. Which I thought was funny.
And she's got like, she still has her father issues, but it's not as bad. And there's that whole line.
My question is though, where the hell's Gamora?
That's the thing. Gamora, but we know that Gamora becomes Thanos in another episode. Like, that's going to be her what if.
So is it going to connect to this episode?
No, they said every episode takes place in a different universe, but I don't know how much of that I believe. Because I feel like because there was that big thing over the week, right, about the Hyundai ad about like, are they leading to a multiversal war? Is it all connected? Is it all part of one thing?
Oh yeah, because I heard the final episode's about Ultron. And
that
might be like the cross.
Oh man, James Spader back as Ultron would be fucking awesome.
Oh, totally.
Would be fantastic. I'd love that implicitly. Even though Simon Section here with $5, man, thank you, says T'Challa Star-Lord is the Robin Leach of the galaxy.
I love that too. They basically the Ravagers became the Robin Hood and the Merry Men, basically.
Yeah, that was pretty great. I thought that was great too. I also thought Geeks here saying, I want more Howard the Duck. Loved Howard the Duck. Loved Seth Green coming back to voice the character. I loved that was Benicio del Toro as the Collector, and it sounded nothing like him, which really threw me off.
Yeah, he did a complete different performance, which I guess makes sense because he became a different person, right?
Well, there's that, and it was his character also became a bit of a meme from Guardians. Mm-hmm. I think there was enough because so like his acting in Guardians was very over the top, very eccentric. But that also was kind of like him in The Last Jedi with DJ's character was very over the top and very eccentric, and it felt kind of similar. And maybe he just wanted to do something a little bit different. But honestly, I didn't realize that. What I love though is like how it felt like you were watching Guardians in 2014, like how when they went to nowhere and they go to the Collector's establishment, and you see like the dark elf, and you see Cosmo and all the little, and I'm waiting for Howard the Duck, and I just love that he was like asking Howard for directions, and then Howard's like, oh yeah, do this. He's like, screw it, and he just lets him out.
Yeah, give me the full tour.
Yeah, give him the full tour, and then he goes off and gets something to drink. But like I said, guys, we're giving away Howard the Duck 4K this month, so this is now the time. This is now a collector. You're gonna want it in 4K. Super Chats is the best way to do it, because it ends up is going to be Howard is going to come back, and this is going to be a collector's item. I swear. That is my take on it, at least. But
yeah.
But no, I really enjoyed
Black Order too.
The Black Order was great. Carrie Coon coming back as Proxima Midnight was pretty awesome. I liked that. I loved it when Thanos fought them and he got his ass handed to him.
Yeah, because like it's obviously Thanos hasn't been in war the entire time, right? It's not battle hardened.
Yeah, it's definitely different, but he's like, I'm mad. Like, yeah, the Mad Titan, motherfucker, and then I'm like, yeah, fucking Thanos, dude. Like, that's the thing is,
the small moments too, where like Drax comes in, he takes a selfie with them. He's like,
yeah, and he said, but
my wife and daughter.
Yeah, and like they're alive, but then the actor, I would have loved it to have been Dave Bautista.
It sounded really close though.
It sounded really close, and he was able to nail a lot of the mannerisms, which I thought was fantastic. And I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed how the Collector went to his end with the one girl who killed herself in Guardians, but here she was able to still get the same kind of ending without dying and then being in control.
Yeah,
I also
everyone beats him up. It says, "Oh, karma."
Yeah, oh karma, and then they killed him. They killed his ass 100%. What I thought was great though was when T'Challa was fighting with the Collector and Yondu showed up and they double teamed his ass.
Oh yeah, what they call it? They called it like super sticky or something. Or
it was like sticky fingers or something like that. It was like
sticky fingers. Yeah,
sticky fingers. You know, and like who's going to be sticky fingers? You, because you lied to me. And like but the thing with that too is like when he's walking around and they find the Wakandan spacecraft, and then there's the whole recording there from his dad. I thought that was great. I was like, oh, like, you know, his dad never stopped. Yeah, it's like dad never stopped looking, and he's like, I will find you again, my son, either in this plane or the next. And you're like, oh,
yeah. And he said like you're the brightest star in a galaxy of millions or something like that.
I know, like the dude, like that's the thing with T'Challa's dad. Like there was a lot of love there. Even what we got in like, you know, we got I think we got a good view of that in Civil War before he died. But then obviously carrying on that legacy going into Black Panther and stuff, I really just enjoyed that whole world.
And that ending, the ending to the episode was fantastic because obviously the biggest question is, well, okay, what the heck goes on with Ego and Peter? Because obviously Ego's not going to stop looking for Peter Quill, and then he works at Dairy Queen. He's the janitor at Dairy Queen.
He's a janitor at Dairy Queen, and that's the same Dairy Queen that showed up in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Yep.
And then that was actually Kurt Russell voicing Ego.
I know. That made me so happy. It was one line. It was one
line. It was great. It was Kurt Russell, but then it wasn't Chris Pratt as Peter Quill. And I kind of get that.
Maybe they'll get him for season 2.
Maybe they'll get him for that. But we don't know what that story is going to be. We don't know what any of that's going to be. I think I'll say this though. One of my favorite parts in the episode was when Nebula and Thanos were fighting, and then T'Challa just says, "I've been trying to get them into counseling."
Yeah, and I love that.
It's just like a standard. It's a little throwaway line. It's a little interesting line, but it's really damn funny because it's just like that is something like he would do, and like everyone there accepts him. Like Taserface wasn't as crazy as he was in Guardians 2.
Oh, I love the line too, where like Yondu and him they get into that fight. It's like, why are you guys fighting? Is this like business stuff or family stuff? Oh, it's family stuff.
Yeah, because it's great seeing Sean Gunn as Kraglin again, because he's going to be, I think, a decent part of Guardians 3 as well, according to James. This is from like back in 2017 when Guardians 2 came out. Mm. And, you know, and I really enjoyed getting more with that character because I've always liked Kraglin. And I just really want to see like, you know, again, these 2 episodes, what I love are kind of the worlds. Like you want to spend more time there.
Yeah. And I think this episode is also an improvement of the first one because the first one was a solid introduction to the what if concept, but this took it further because you saw all the little changes that T'Challa brought just by existing in that space. Thanos, the Black Order, the Collector, the Ravagers, like everything in that episode tied back to like the big change that happened, right? Which I liked.
So they really spent a fair amount of time on that. Now someone has okay, hold on here. Lars Lux here says Rip Korg. Was that Korg's arm that yes, the Collector had?
Yeah, the Collector said I tore this off of a very talkative, annoying Cronin.
Okay, I see what it was. Is I got distracted because I was watching it this morning with my kids, and I got distracted during that part, so I missed that. That sucks that Korg died. I love Korg.
I think Cap and Thor died too, because in the Collector's like little weapons thing, he had Cap, Shield, and Mjolnir.
That's right, he did. Yeah. So there was so I guess something would have happened maybe without Thanos as being the villain. They ended up fighting something even worse. But we don't know anything about that. That would have been something fascinating. The thing is, like, you know, people out there have been criticizing this, trying to, you know, they're finding whatever they can to nitpick this, you know, without really realizing
I think the first episode, sadly, was an easy target because it's female led. It's like a woman becoming a male superhero, basically, or that moniker.
I still love the first episode.
Oh, I still loved it too. I'm just saying, I think it was an easy target because it's the one that can easily nitpick and like complain about. Sadly, this one I don't see anyone having a problem with. I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, at this point, you know, it's been trending pretty much all day, I think, and a lot of people have been talking about it. But according to
certain people, it's not on Google Trends, so obviously no one's watching it or caring.
Yeah, that's 116 million paid active accounts. Never mind all the pirates. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But I'll say this: so what I loved at the end of the episode is when they travel back to Wakanda, and he reintroduces, he brings his new family to meet his old family.
Yeah.
And then
that reunion, by the way, between his dad or it's his Baba, and it's like, oh my God, like hits you right in the feels, dude.
Oh,
like,
I know.
That was very emotional.
That was very good. And then, but I like though when they were talking about like how he got taken in the first place, and then he just says, no, like Yondu found me.
Yeah, he kind of covers for him.
He covers for him. Yeah,
the truth.
And that's like such a, because that's like the love of for Yondu, like, and I think that really says a lot to Yondu's character. And I know that was the thing. In Guardians 1, you get like the father-son dynamic. Guardians 2, they really amplify that, obviously, with the sacrifice at the end. And there was that line like, he might have been your father, but I'm your daddy. And like that really kind of like hit close home to me during that movie. And then having that kind of, I love how that through line played out here as well. And I feel like that was a lot of James Gunn's influence on it, if I'm being honest with you, because like he really kind of played that up, amplified that in Guardians 2. And because again, Guardians 2, he's described it as a movie for fathers, right? Whether it's like your biological or adopted, whatever. Father figures. And so like that was a great thing at the end of the episode. But then they had like Denai Guerrera, whatever her name is, Okoye's actor, talking to Thanos. And so goes, yeah, but it's genocide.
And he's like, no, it was going to be random. He snaps his fingers. And then Cosmo the dog licks him and Nebula's all embarrassed. Like, oh my God, Dad.
Like, oh, I know. It was just, it was totally a family episode. And this is the thing people need to realize when it comes to these what ifs is like Marvel has established family more so than the fucking Fast and Furious franchise. But they've established this family dynamic across all of these franchises, and the families have had a chance to grow, as we've seen play out throughout these multiple films, which is why an episode like this, which is kind of throwing a lot at the wall, more so I think than the first episode with Captain Carter, but it feels more connected because when you see it like that, you go, okay, cool. Like this is something that's pretty badass. Like I just really like this.
I loved again, it's all about how one person can make a difference, right? Like T'Challa's influence, he's that great of a character, that great of a leader that he led to all of this, right? Yeah. Which I thought the episode, like, it puts T'Challa in a different place, obviously, but it highlights how great of a person he was, how great of a leader he is.
That's very true. And but I will say, so when they were going for like the thing that the Collector had, the seed to Genesis or whatever it was, that was basically, again, what was that? That was a foil to Thanos's plan. Thanos wanted to eliminate half the galaxy, half the universe in order to sustain populations, right? Here, they
resources,
this was all resource based. This could terraform a planet with just like one
and keep
seed.
It going for millions.
And keep it. Yeah, that was the whole point. Is they were basically trying to. It was the anti-Thanos plan. That's what they were trying to do.
That's great, actually. That's a great callback.
It's a total twist on it. It's a total twist on it, and that's why it's like, I think that's one of the reasons why the whole Captain Genocide thing was even funnier when I realized that when they said it. And then of course when he's fighting Korath in the distraction, and he's all like, "Call me Captain Genocide again." He's all like, "Get Captain Genocide," and just gets
beats the crap out of him.
Just beats the crap out of him because like he's part of the team. And then like it just kind of felt like they were a ragtag group of guys. That would take anyone who was seeking redemption, I think, or seeking to do good. And,
well, it's always been what the Guardians are about. It's the misfits, right? It's the troubled souls in a way.
Yeah, and like I thought that it was a fantastic episode because I've always loved Guardians, and I love, it was, I mean, again, obviously Chadwick Boseman was a big part of that going into it. And
honestly, if you would have told me that they were going to do an episode where like it's Black Panther mixed with Guardians of the Galaxy, I would have like scratched my head saying that's such a weird choice, right? But they made it work, and it's brilliant. Like it's a great. I think it's like it perfectly exemplifies what the what if concept can do.
Yeah, and just again, it's one of those things where like I love Marvel on TV. They're able just to do new cool things. And it's fantastic. But real quick here, McLeod here with 5 Canadian, thank you. Says, from what I saw in the few trailers that came out for the show, I think it will lead to new Avengers moment with Captain Carter, Ravagers, etc. They probably will find a way to bring everybody together. It just makes sense.
That's what the Hyundai ad was kind of implying. So
yeah, but again, the Hyundai ad though is also going to put all the characters in the ad. Like, I mean, but considering that everything they do leads to some kind of ensemble film or some kind of team up thing, To me, it makes the most amount of sense. I wonder though, I mean, are we going to get Loki in this at all? I know they haven't done an episode focused on Loki because he had his own show, but I don't know if he's going to pop up at all.
I think they said he's in the trailer. I know he's in the cast list, so he's going to pop up eventually. I don't know if he's going to have an episode dedicated to him, but he's going to be in the show for sure.
Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to that. Here's McLeod with another 5. Thank you. Says Sean Gunn's lines are funny as fuck. Here's 2 seeing holes, 2 ear holes, 1 eating hole. That was a funny line. And then Nebula is classy and sweet, sweet fire. Nebula. Yeah,
Nebula was amazing. I want to see that Nebula jump.
I hope if they give Karen Gillan the blonde wig and that kind of attitude in the next movie, that's going to be something. I think it's a certain eggplant emoji using mofo that we know is going to go crazy. So there's that. Thank you very much. Music Man says it's all about family. No, it's true. It's true. It works, man. Like the whole thing works. It's great. Also, McLeod here with another 10 Canadian. Thank you, buddy. Says Captain Carter is a badass motherfucker. The best part is that Steve Rogers wasn't just tossed away. He was given a purpose and a chance to serve his country and be a hero. Damn straight. Damn straight. That was the thing. That's like the whole part of this.
That's why I loved it so much, because it was still a love story between the two, and Steve wasn't just thrown away. He didn't get jealous. He still respected her. He still fought in the war. Like they just cast the character aside.
And it's about Howard and Howard Stark, that when he came by them when they were getting ready to kiss, was all like, "Wait a minute, what's going on here? You guys, like everyone's supportive. Like it's this kind of stuff is like comfort food to me. If I'm being honest with you, these episodes are like comfort food. It's such a weird thing because when you watch them, like I've been a fan since 2008. Like many of us have. It's a long time. It's so good to go and see these characters again, even if it is just animation, but it feels right. And that's what I really love about it. So I don't know what the next week's episode is. I know some people like our friend Ty from Pop Culture Corner and Mikey Sutton from Geekosity they've both seen it, those bastards. And but I've heard good things about it. And obviously they're going to be building up through the course of the next 7 episodes into the season finale.
Yeah, I think they said it's focused on Nick Fury and Black Widow, I think, is what they were teasing. So,
well, I mean, I know Scarlett's not voicing her character, although she's got a little bit of downtime now. She just had her baby today.
Yes, she
did. So that's congrats to Scarlett and Colin Jost on that one. And so that's all good. But thank you guys very much. So I guess just before we move on, RJ, what are your final thoughts on What If?
Yeah, I thought this was a great episode. It was very bittersweet to hear Chadwick Boseman portray T'Challa again. I can't wait to see what they do with them in future episodes, obviously. And again, I just love the blend between Black Panther and Guardians of the Galaxy. I thought it was a great episode, honestly. Probably, I really liked the first one, but this one's even better. So,
yeah, I thought I liked this one quite a bit, more than the last one, but I really did enjoy the first one too. Let's see here. Simon here with $5 really quick here says, I hear episode 3 is as dark as Logan. That would
be very surprising if so.
I mean, like,
Logan's
how could it
pretty dark?
Logan, yeah. Oh, wait, hold. Oh no, I think he's making fun of John Campea.
Yes.
I think it's going to be John Campea. I think he's making fun of John Campea on that. But thank you very much for that, Logan. The Mandela ship instead of the Milano. Is that
instead of it being called the Milano, the ship's called the Mandela.
Oh, I missed that little detail. That's a cool detail. That's a really cool little detail. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It does makes a lot of sense considering at the time Nelson Mandela and the apartheid and stuff. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. A lot of interesting little tidbits thrown in there. That's why you got to rewatch this episode multiple times. You can't just sit there, Max, and rely on one viewing to get an idea for it, Max. You got to sit there and really dive in and pay attention, Max. Anyway, as always, I want to hear people listening to this later on. I want to hear your thoughts about this. Let me know down in the comments section, obviously. And what are you looking forward to with next week? Because I think it's going to be something pretty, truly awesome. All right. So there we go on that one, getting that out of the way because I can clip that out when we go to the final part. So why don't we talk up here about, because obviously there was a super chat here from Rational says, was it going to be Henry Cavill Superman? Well, I mean,
it's the $1 million question.
Well, according to this one article that I came across yesterday, and I was going to talk about this yesterday, but obviously certain things ended up getting a little bit on the on the shifted side.
Mikey sitting, coming in, dropping some scoops.
Yeah, Mikey coming on in and everything else. We did find out that there was potentially going to be Superman considered to be the main villain in the Suicide Squad. This is something that wasn't like, massively considered, I think, but it's caught a lot of people by surprise, and some people are happy with it, and some people aren't happy with it. So this is what it says here. James Gunn revealed that there was a time when he considered making Superman the main villain. So he says here that he discussed the evolution of his script. He revealed at one point he toyed with the idea of pitting Task Force X against the Man of Steel because he felt that it would make for a very interesting story. But then he decided to make Starro the movie's big bad. Here's the thing with that is like, obviously the new upcoming Rocksteady game
is basically taking that concept. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing with this though, is they were working on this concept probably before he came on the scene. Cause the last time Rocksteady put out a game was, I think June or July 2015 is when
June 2015.
Yeah. Is when Arkham Knight came out. And so everyone's been asking them since then. Everyone's been, what's going on with this? We get another game. What's going on? We want another damn game. And so there's been a lot going on with that. And at the meantime, they've been silent. So when James came on board, he would have probably heard that the Suicide Squad versus the Justice League was already in development, because these games take a long time to make. He probably would have already heard that, which is why maybe he considered for that time being that could be the movie tie-in to the game. Mm-hmm. Because people last year at Fandom, they were wondering like, why isn't this tying into the movie? And that would have been something I think. But here's the thing: I think given everything that's happened in the past couple of years with like the Snyder Cut and Superman and Henry, and if he is or isn't playing Superman anymore, I think a lot of people would have been really upset if it would have been Henry Cavill Superman.
Probably because I think certain groups of fans would have been very sensitive about how that character carries forward without Zack as the director. So if you have another creative coming in handling that character, it's like, I think you would have seen a lot of outrage about whether or not it's respectful of what's come before, right?
Yeah.
So.
And yeah, definitely, right? Well, now James here does go on to explain why he chose Starro. He loves the character, loves him from the comics. I think he's a perfect comic book character because he's absolutely ludicrous, but he's also very scary in his own way. Saying here, what he does is scary. He used to scare the crap out of me when I was a child, putting those face huggers on Superman and Batman and stuff. And I mean, that makes a lot of sense, about, okay, there's nothing else here about that really, but that makes a lot of sense as to why he chose Starro. But I still think, and I'm glad with the decision. I am glad with the decision.
It goes back to like the concept art that they were throwing around where, it's in a blood sport. They were thinking about Deathstroke, right? And ultimately, I think, I don't know, maybe they could have thrown in a more well-recognized character into the cast besides just Harley, just to bolster interest. But I like the movie we got, honestly. So it's interesting in concept to like discuss what could have been, but it's not like I'm like disappointed anyway.
Oh, no, like 100%. I feel like she should, I feel like what we got was good. What we got was definitely 100% James Gunn, good, bad, or other. And obviously Warner seems very happy with it. Whether or not it gets a sequel or gets to continue, we have no idea. A lot of people now want to call it a a fallout. But think about how bad it would have, or a failure. But think about how bad the reaction would have been from the Snyder fandom had Henry Cavill Superman been the villain.
It was his final appearance too. Like the final movie on his contract ended up killing him or something.
Well, I mean, killing him again.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like they would have freaked the hell out over that, because I remember that was a big thing back in 2016 with the death of Superman in the second Superman movie, fighting Doomsday, and not a way a lot of people liked, but I get why Zack did it. It makes sense.
I get why he did it. I still think it was a bit rushed, but that's a conversation for another day.
Oh yeah. That's a fight with the people I don't feel like having right now. But no, I really feel like what we got was really good. And this is something that would have been funny to see, which is why I made the thumbnail that I made. Cause I thought that was a funny ass thumbnail. And this is just, again, the evolutionary process of these scripts. Like if you look at some of the, Like for example, I'm doing a patio commentary on the 1993 Super Mario Brothers movie. And have you ever seen that one?
It's been a very, very long time.
I love that movie. I absolutely adore that film. But in my research, I found out that at one point, Tom Hanks was heavily considered to play Luigi.
Really?
They wanted Tom Hanks, but the Joe versus the Volcano and another movie he had made came out that crashed and burned at the box office. The producers got iffy. They got spooked that Tom Hanks wouldn't be a viable figure to lead this, to be, in this movie. So they opted to go the other way, and they brought in John Leguizamo because he was an up and coming comedian. And what happened with that? Then Tom Hanks went on to go do Forrest Gump, and it won Best Picture.
Yeah. And Joe versus the Volcano was a good movie.
It was. Yeah, it was good. It's one of my, I like it better than Sleepless in Seattle in regards to the Meg Ryan, Tom Hanks movies. But I also have a very large soft spot for You Got Mail, because I think that was actually a pretty good one too. I'd love to see them team up one more time, like in the twilight of their career, coming back together once more. I don't know what it would be.
Totally.
But it could be like, I don't know, a remake of fucking Cocoon or something. It could be really anything. But Ray here says Tom Hanks for Hank Hill. Oh, that's definitely something on that one.
You know what? At this point, they probably will do a live action King of the Hill.
Well, I hear they're going to be doing a lot. I'm hearing a reboot's coming, but without there being an actual, what's the word I want to use here? Without there be, Brittany Murphy played Luann, and she's been dead for quite some time, and I don't see them recasting Luann. I just don't see it. But I definitely want to see whatever Mike Judge does next, because I freaking love that guy. But real quick here, McLeod with another Canadian 5 smackaroonies, or 5 loonies. Is that what it's called in Canada? Loonies? Is that your currency? Anyway, ScarJo is legit funny as fuck as well. I remember her guest hosting on SNL a couple of times, and she could fit right in as a regular cast member. And I think that, actually, I agree. I think Scarlett Johansson is actually pretty funny. She can be, for sure. She can be. And I think, honestly, like, that's one of the things her and Colin Jost connected over, because I think Colin Jost is hysterical. I love Weekend Update with him and Michael Che. That's, if anything, I always watch that when SNL's, even if I don't like the guest host, I will watch whatever Weekend Update is, because I always like that. But yeah, I think I would like to see more with her being pretty funny on that one. Yeah. Max is here saying, "What the hell? I'm no hater." You were kind of agreeing with with Nerdrotic over that today, over What If. So,
oof.
Ooh, I know. Dark. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. No, I was gonna highlight Dark Beast's comment too, because I was gonna bring that up as well.
Yeah, he says, hell, a lot of people are pissed that Idris Elba's character put Superman in the hospital with a kryptonite bullet because they claim Zack Snyder's Superman got disrespected. Well, yeah, I mean, like, look, man,
people lost their minds over that. People are so mad about that. Some
people,
Snyder fans.
Snyder fans at this point, I just like making them mad. I'm not even going to front on that one. I think it's funny to make them mad. Like, I put out that thing yesterday, which is a better movie, Logan or BVS. And I got a lot of like, Sly, come on, Matt, what are you doing? I got a little bit of that. But I'm fine with that, because like, it's, some people just need a fucking wake up call every once in a while. Real quick here, Rational Skeptic here, 5 bones. Thank you, man. Says Warner Brothers said Gunn can do any DC project. Would they let him do Man of Steel 2 or Justice League if he asked? He doesn't want to do those. I guarantee you he doesn't want to touch those.
Yeah. I guess the question is, though, like, theoretically, if they did ask him, he did want to do it.
He would probably go whatever one would have the biggest amount of underdogs. Because he likes the underdog characters, is what he likes.
He'd probably be like a Justice Society over Justice League, to be honest.
Maybe, yeah, something smaller, something with like lesser known characters, and everything else on that might be interesting to see them evolve. Funny thing is, so he made a comment real quick about Polka Dot Man that I kind of put the character in a whole new perspective for me. Mm-hmm. And so what he said was, someone was asking about the Milton thing, and they were like, oh, Milton, Milton was named after Milton Bill Finger, the creator of, of the character of Polka Dot Man, and asked if that was the reason why he was in it. And James Gunn, there was a movie details Twitter account that put that out there, and Gunn had shot that down. But what he had said was that really what it was in that Milton scene was that Polka Dot Man was looking for any reason to make anyone feel sorry for him. So he just jumped on to Milton's death in order to try to milk the feelings. And because he was apparently always seeking validation, always seeking, because, and I started thinking about it last night when I was, tonight when I was out doing deliveries, because I'm like, okay, so yeah, Polka Dot Man talks about how, his brothers and sisters were all experimented upon by his mom. And a lot of them didn't make it. And he did. And then, he's got the skin condition and that he's got to vomit it out or excrete it twice a day. And, all of these little things where it's like, you kind of start to feel sorry for him. We as an audience feel sorry for him. When Milton died, we felt sorry for him. No one gave a fuck about Milton. You're like, wait, Milton's there in his, his shorts and flip flops running into Jotunheim with bombs.
It's kind of funny.
It's kind of funny.
The characters.
And then he dies, and you're like, all right, like, okay. And then here's Polka Dot Man, like Milton, making this big thing about Milton, and you're like, but then Bloodshot asks, like, when did this love affair happen? And he's like, I liked him since I met him. I just didn't say anything. And I'm like, oh, now that he kind of puts it in that perspective, it's like, did he actually care about Milton? Or is he just using this as a way to get attention and have somebody feel sorry for him?
Yeah, it's interesting to think about.
So that really puts that whole line, that last line of him as like, I'm a superhero. And then before he dies, are we meant to feel sorry that he died? Or was he actively looking to die? Was he actively seeking redemption? Because that's kind of the thing with this group. It's like, Peacemaker is an assassin. Bloodsport is an assassin. They slaughter the entire village for more or less, for a pissing contest. Margot, Harley Quinn robs banks. She kills people. Ratcatcher 2 robbed a bank. She's like the least violent one. Mm. King Shark tears people apart, does all this crazy shit.
But it's only because he's hungry.
It's because he's hungry, yeah. But Polka Dot Man, they never really spend any time on why Polka Dot Man was locked up.
No, they don't. They don't really explain what is, like, his backstory, I guess, powers, but not, like, why he's in jail.
Yeah, it's very odd. It's very kind of weird on that front.
Wait, wasn't it implied he might have killed his mom? Or...
I think at this point it's entirely possible he killed his mom.
Yeah, because I thought that might be why he's in jail, actually. But I had to see that. Now I got to go back and
now you go back and watch it again with this extra layer of information, which is something that, like, upon first viewing, you may not get right away. So that to me was pretty interesting. So thank you for that, Rational Skeptic. Appreciate it. Simon here with $5 says Joe versus the volcano. I have no response to that. Yes. Also, what was it? Orange Crush, I believe, was the drink of choice for the inhabitants of the island. On that one?
Yes, I believe so, yeah.
I that movie's so weird. Like, doesn't Meg Ryan play like 3 characters in that movie?
I think so, yeah.
I think
it was Jump. I think it was Jump Soda, not Orange Crush.
Oh, okay. Jumps. It's been so long since I've seen it. It's been so long.
It basically is Orange Crush, but it's like Jump.
Yeah. So yeah, I need to watch Joe versus the volcano again. Thank you, Simon. Ryan here with $5 asking, do you think you'll get the booster when it's available? Oh yeah. Yeah. You can shoot that thing straight into my veins, man. Just like come up, smack the vein, get it nice and puffy, shove it in me. I want to live.
I want to live and go see more movies for like another 10 to 20 years, please. So
yeah. I'd like to see my kids grow up. I'd like to go on like vacations. I'd like to see more movies. I like to do a lot of other things. Now Music Man here says, really, I felt Polka Dot Man was actually concerned for Milton. According to James Gunn, he wasn't. And that is, again, that's a little thing that they didn't give us a lot of insight on that. But we'll have to figure that out. So, that's going to be something. Oh, Tony here's like, really, Matt? What? I'm not saying like suppository that shit, but I mean, also suppository that shit, you know? And then McLeod here with another 10 Canadian. Thank you, man. It says they're reviving King of the Hill. It's going to take place years later. Bobby will be grown and Hank will be a manager finally. Also be funny as fuck if Dale ended up being involved with QAnon. Yes. I'll tell you guys the funniest, the funniest scene in King of the Hill was King of the Hill season. I think it was season 2, episode 1. Right. Or no, whatever season, I think it might've been the end of season, like whenever the season when Meg Lamart blew up, might've been 2 or 3, but whenever, so at the end of the season, Meg Lamart blew up and Chuck Mangione was in there, you know, or was, yeah, everyone thought, you know, there's a big thing, cliffhanger. So then the next episode, the season premiere of the next season, you know, you got Dale and he's walking around the wreckage of, you know, of the explosion. And he's talking to an agent and the agent's like sifting through Rebel and the agent says something about it. And Dale just goes, yeah, that's what they want you to think. And he goes to take a puff of a cigarette and it cuts to the agent who just lowers his aviator glasses, looks right at Dale and just goes, sir, we are they. And then Dale's like, ah, and he just like takes the hell off. Or did you ever see the episode where Dale starts up the pirate radio station that is like from his garage and he's using it to like convey conspiracy theories and like, you know, denigrate the government in like a 4-block radius or something?
Yeah, I feel like I vaguely remember that episode.
And then like, but then like he ends up like selling it to like to a Mexican station. And so like it's just a Hispanic speaking reporter that's doing the news from his garage.
King of the Hill, man. King of the Hill.
Well, 187 here says King of the Hill is trash. I'm a Family Guy fan. Oh my God. How the two shows are so vastly different.
They really are.
King of the Hill is like, is just, it's like, oh my God. King of the Hill is just so damn, I love Family Guy too. Family Guy's edgy. King of the Hill isn't edgy. That's the thing. Like the humor for King of the Hill comes from like the kind of like the obtuseness of life, the ignorance of life, but not done in a way that comes across as like overtly terrible. So for example, like in season 1, they go to Mexico and as they get to the border, Bobby sees like the wall and he's like, Dad, why is there a big wall here? And Kank says something along the lines of like, well, son, that's our way of telling people to keep out. You know, and it was just, I mean, it was like this kind of like, what the fuck? You know, it was something, so it just hits you because you're like, yeah, people in Texas think that way. You know, people in Texas really think that way. In fact, I was just reading the other day that one of the reasons why Mike Judge created King of the Hill was that when he moved to Texas, there was like something that broke down at his house and his neighbor came over really without asking and fixed it just for the sake of fixing it, just for the sake of doing the nice thing. And so he said that in, you know, King of the Hill in Texas, because like people just do the right thing without expecting anything for it. And that's a lot of how, a lot of how that whole, you know, that if you think about it, like they always kind of helped each other out. They helped out everyone they could, you know, they might like complain along the way or whatever, but they never went out. They never were maliciously hateful towards people, you know? Like, but they were ignorant. Like in one of the first episodes where they meet Mr. Khan, the you know, the next door neighbor. You know, like they're sitting there going like, Dale's like, is he Chinese or is he Japanese? and you know, and they ask him like, are you Chinese or Japanese? And then here comes Cotton, you know, with his blown away shins, and he's all like, he's Laotian. You're Laotian, ain't you, Mr. Khan? You know, and it's like, how did you know? You know, and it's like, he's like, 'cause I fought in the war. So it's like, you know, little things like that, where it's like the ignorance of people not knowing what part of Asia you're from, but you just kind of look all the same without coming out directly and saying it, asking the generalized questions, because that is kind of how our culture has been socialized on that issue. And then having just like the racist military war veteran come over and just immediately point out the right country is just funny to me. Like, I just feel that show, when it hit satire on that front, it hit it real well. And I don't think it ever treated anyone like with incredulity. You know, it never really spoke down to the audience. I think like there was a lot there with those characters. I love King of the Hill. Like I fucking love King of the Hill. So I think it's Dark Beast here says Peggy was a terrible person. Yeah, she kind of was. Ray here says Tom Anderson from Beavis and Butthead is basically proto Hank Hill. Oh, absolutely, down to the voice. Damn it, Bobby! Those two boys are back out there whacking it in my shed. Have you guys ever seen? Did you ever see the Beavis and Butthead Do America, the movie?
Yeah, it's been a long time though.
Oh,
I got to go back and watch some of this stuff for sure.
Well, pardon, Mike Judge is doing another Beavis and Butthead movie for Paramount Plus. On top of all of the South Park stuff for Paramount Plus, so there's a lot that's going to be in Paramount Plus, man.
For sure, yeah.
Like that's looking mighty tasty when it comes to that. I might dip HBO Max and just get Paramount Plus. I ain't making that up either. Let's see here real quick. Okay. Well, I'll tell you why real quick. Command unit here says Tyrannid introduction cinematic. All right. Tyrannid introduction cinematic. That's going to be our closeout video tonight. Thank you, Command unit. Let's see here. King of the Hill sometimes came across as a redneck Simpsons. Yeah, it did. But the Simpsons always had like cynical satire. That was always kind of the point of the Simpsons, where it approached things from like a very, you know, you could say early 90s, maybe like anti-PC cynicism. And that point in time, they really did push the envelope on a number of things back in the day. And, you know, that would have like really angered some people. Go watch some of the older episodes. They have some pretty dark humor in there. And then King of the Hill, though, was more, it wasn't like a redneck Simpsons. King of the Hill was just about the small community, you know, and it was about just life in that community. You know, Hank Hill, propane accessories. Like, it's a very simple life. He likes to barbecue. He wants to raise his son, you know, doesn't understand his boy, but not because his boy is a hellion. Bobby did things that was, you know, he did the average kid thing where he'd get into trouble, but it wasn't like the first season of The Simpsons where there was the alter ego of El Barto who was running around and graffitiing up the city. Bobby Hill would never do something like that unless, you know, it was his friend, I forget his friend's name. It's been so long, you know, but there was like, it was different on that front. It was more realistic, you know, like on how they did things and how they approached the world rather than the absurdity of The Simpsons. And I love both shows. Is King of the Hill streaming anywhere? Because now I want to go back and fucking watch it.
Let me look right now. Hold on.
Yeah. You know, you didn't make Christianity better.
I believe it's on Hulu.
Maybe that sounds right. You just made rock and roll worse. Oh yeah. Rational here asks, do you remember Harvey Birdman, attorney at law? Never got into that. I never got into the. What
about Mike Tyson Mysteries?
No, I never got into that either.
Oh my God, Mike Tyson Mysteries is hilarious.
I know about it, but I never really got into it at all. So
it's a great parody of like the classic Hanna-Barbera, like Scooby-Doo stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I've totally. Awesome. I know it totally is making fun of everything with like the old Scooby-Doo stuff. So you honor my home by giving me gas. I remember that line. Rhea here says, thank you, by the way, Simon, for that, by the way. Rhea here says, Beavis and Butthead has a higher rewatchability for me personally. There is, I agree with you, but a lot of that has to do with the music videos, which I think upon going back and rewatching old episodes, not having the music videos and the replays because of rights issues is unfortunate, because some of the commentary was great on those videos. So there's a lot of good stuff there. All right, I need to watch Harvey Birdman. Apparently King of the Hill is on Hulu, as you were saying. Joseph, that's right, Joseph, thank you. Joseph Gribble, thank you, geeks. Yeah, Sam here says, people forget how controversial The Simpsons was back in the day. Really was, man.
It really was. It's funny looking back now, because you watch those earlier seasons, like, why was it so controversial? Really, like, because, you know, at this point, it's like, it's nothing compared to like some of the stuff that's on TV today, you know?
Oh yeah, I mean, when I worked for the drive-in, I remember when we had Kill Bill come out, and people were taking their kids to go see it, you know, and I'm like, you know, this movie's like really violent, right? And like, I remember this one dad, this kid's like 8 years old. And this one dad's like, yeah, he sees worse on TV. I'm like, in 2003, no, you didn't. You didn't in 2003. As time went on, yes, absolutely. You know, Kill Bill at this point is relatively tame compared to what you see on like The Walking Dead or Breaking Bad. But back then, you didn't really see that on television. So, all right, what was Hank had posted something in the Discord? The Guardians trailer. Yeah, I've seen the Guardians trailer, but we'll bring it up. We'll watch that a little bit later. If you haven't seen Guardians, have you seen the Guardians? It's a Russian film.
Yeah, I think it's on Netflix, actually. I remember watching a trailer of it, like as like a bear or as like one of the heroes or something.
It really is. Hold on. Simon here with another $5. Thank you, man. Says, I don't know how they're going to replace Brittany Murphy, RIP. I don't know either, man. It's been a long time, but I would hope that they would just not, that they would just retire Luann's character. I think that would be the right thing to do rather than recast. Let's see. Rational Skeptic here says Matt Stone and Trey Parker should do a Suicide Squad movie. Nah, fuck that, dude. I want another Team America.
Yeah, I like another Team America too, to be honest.
Because for one, like the movie was hysterical, and two, the soundtrack is absolutely on fire. It's just lit. And it's not even like this, the main song. Everyone knows like America, fuck yeah. It's not just that. You have a song called like Freedom Isn't Free, Freedom Costs $1.05, which is really funny. There's a song there all about how Pearl Harbor was a shitty movie.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I miss you like Ben. I miss you like Ben Affleck missed the mark when he made. No, I miss you like Michael Bay missed the mark when he made Pearl Harbor. I need you more than like Cuba Gooding Jr. needed a better part. Like it's just the song. If you listen to the lyrics, it's just all about how shitty Pearl Harbor was. And it's funny as hell. And it's like this, that movie is ridiculously stupid. They actually got like Michael Bay's cinematographer to make that movie as close to like a Michael Bay action movie as they could.
Yeah. And it was perfect for it.
I know, like they fucking got the cinematographer from Michael Bay movies to go like, okay, with puppets this time. That's,
I'll see the Matt Damon stuff. Matt Damon.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like they know Matt Damon. They're friends with Matt Damon, and he laughs at that. And apparently Alec Baldwin wanted to voice his own character. Alec Baldwin was all about voicing his character in that movie, and they turned him down because they didn't want any of the celebrities to voice themselves because it would ruin the joke.
Yeah, it wouldn't be as funny.
But like, Kim Jong-un or Kim Jong-il, like just like I'm so Ronry and Sadri Aron. Like it's just fuck you, Hans Bricks. It's like Michael Moore with the suicide bomber. You gotta take it down, blow it on down. It's fucking hysterical, man. I just love that shit so fucking much. I love that movie. Oh my god, we should totally do a watch party for that one night. Totally. Kim Jong-il singing, yeah, I'm so Ronry. Let's see here. Darkby says, I don't know if Team America would sell as well today, given how terribly America is viewed by the world and even Americans. But that's kind of the point. Americans are really good at laughing at themselves for having a very terrible society. And I think it would take like the satirical eye of Trey and Matt to really be able to dive in and make it something that is funny and poignant.
Yeah,
I really do. I think like you'd have to get like the thing is like, and I think it would have to be them, because the thing with Trey and Matt is that they are cynical, but it's cynical with like a very, very absurdist sense of humor. Like if someone like, let's say Sacha Baron Cohen, and I love Borat and Borat too, but if Sacha Baron Cohen was to do it, it would be deeply cynical, but it wouldn't be satiristic. It would just be cynical and mean spirited.
Yeah.
And that's his style of things, and that's fine. But I'm not a fan of like, I think Trey, like the whole 2004 election, giant douche or turd sandwich. We still joke about that because it was like completely nondescript, but you're like, yeah, I know which one is which, but it still always boils down to a giant douche or a turd sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
And all those gags are like, again, it's satirical, but there's a sense of absurdity there. That makes you chuckle. And the thing is, like, if you can laugh at yourself, if you can laugh at the situation, you might actually look at it a little bit clearer. So I really would love to see them tackle something more. And that's why I'm hoping these movies that they put out on Paramount Plus, these 14 fucking movies over the next 6 years.
Insane amount of movies.
It's like, all right, we're going to get some crazy shit, especially as the world begins to fall around us. And so I think they could do something with Team America, and I think it would sell very well because their stock as content creators, as just creators in general, has not once dipped over the span of their now 20 plus year career. So, and I would love to see them go back to do more things like Cannibal the Musical, which was hysterical. I would love to see another Orgasmo to do a follow-up to that movie. I would love to see another Basketball or something equivalent to that. I would love to see another Team America. Look, Trey Parker as just a whole of a person is entirely way too talented for his own good.
Yeah.
And the same when I talk about like Trevor Moore from The Whitest Kids You Know, who passed away last week, and why that upset me so much. Again, he's also one of those people that's too talented for his own good. And now we don't have any more of that, and that's tragic. And so like the people out there that are like that are the ones that we kind of gravitate towards as creators, and we want more of that. And I think the people that can make us laugh at ourselves, and still kind of like Carlin-esque type stuff, where they criticize what is at the rot of society, of our system, and they do it in a way that is cynical, but also absurdist, and you laugh at it. That is one of the key things I think that pushes social change. But you because again, you catch more flies with honey than vinegar. Like the whole vaccine thing. I'm pro-vaccine. I'm honest to God trying to not like attack people who are unvaccinated, because beating someone with a stick isn't generally not how you get them to do what you want them to do.
Right. I mean, aggression typically doesn't lead to them being approving of like what you're trying to get them to be supporting,
Yeah. Yeah, I did. So real quick here, McLeod with another $2. Thank you. Says, you ever seen Mike Judge's story of Boomhauer's voice? I did. It was some guy pissed off at Beavis and Butthead and how they made fun of the South.
Mm.
And so he somehow got Mike Judge's voicemail, and he called him, and he sounded just like Boomhauer. So he was the basis for Boomhauer's voice.
That's amazing.
Simon here with another $5 says, Team America 2, All Lives Matter. That would probably be the title.
Jesus Christ. You know what? They probably would commentate on stuff like that. Oh man.
They would totally do that. Taylor here says, damn it, now I want to watch Team America again. Damn straight, man. Who made the puppets? I forget who made the puppets, but they did, like, it was so funny. One of the puppets in the movie, the Liv Tyler puppet in Team America, one of her dresses cost like $1,500.
Really?
Yeah. I'm like, why would it cost $1,500? Like, what the fuck, man? They spent some money on that shit. So they said the person that had the biggest issue was Sean Penn. Yeah, because he's got a stick up his ass. Like Sean Penn, Tony here, Sean Penn got butthurt and even wrote the guys a letter.
Oh, really?
That'd be great. Anyway, let's see here. I really like Geeks here says, I really like Daria. Wasn't there a reboot coming to Paramount Plus? I never liked Daria. I never liked Daria. I never liked it. I always liked Daria when she was just a side character on Beavis and Butthead, when their whole chant was diarrhea, cha-cha-cha, diarrhea, cha-cha-cha. I never really cared for the spinoff show. But then again, it wasn't really aimed at me, and maybe I just, like, at the time, I didn't get it. I don't know. Maybe it just wasn't like the right age range or whatever. But I mean, I'll have to go back and give it a watch. I'll give it a watch if they'll put it up there probably. All right. And so, Dark Beast here says they're going to be busy with Casa Bonita for a while. Yeah. Now I have to go to Colorado. Now I got to go to Denver to go check out the South Park owned Casa Bonita. So definitely want to get that one here. All right. Before we jump into the next topic, because there's still like 3 more things to get to tonight. Command Unit here, another 15 super shekels. Thank you, sir. Says Guardians had a shit script. The CGI was decent, not groundbreaking. It's bad in a kind of fun way, though, so I still recommend it because it's kind of absurd. Oh, yeah, no, it looked really absurd from the trailer, but I'm totally down with that. Have you seen Command Unit? Have you seen Tamir Betmetnabov's Night Watch? Have you ever watched that one? Because that was like the best use of subtitles I've seen in a movie. Let's see here. Rational does ask a good question. How did South Park's Trey and Matt survive cancel culture, and how come the SJWs don't attack them? Very simple, Rational. They survived the right-wing cancel culture back in the 90s by simply not giving a shit. And every time that there was something about that was coming, that was going to kind of shut them down, they laughed in its face. And the only time that they ever, you could say, capitulated was over the Cartoon Wars episode where Comedy Central was, they censored the image of Muhammad. That was it.
Sorry, I remember that.
And they were pissed at that too. They were fucking angry at that, as they should be. Because you know what? Like, that was the thing. They were pushing the boundaries. And they've done it for so long that they're just part of our kind of our fabric of pop culture. And everyone who might get mad at them, who even now in this day and age, like the ultra woke, super crazy lefties and righties are just going to go, oh, it's South Park. Like, that's it. You know, they're just going to go, oh, it's South Park, because it's been around for so long and it's uncancelable. Yeah. And that's the whole thing with it, is like, you know, Trey, that's one of the reasons why Trey and Matt have focused more of the last couple of seasons on Stan's dad, right? Mm-hmm. On Randy. Because, you know, when they started off doing the show, this was in the 90s. They were like in their 20s and like their mid 20s. Now it's been over 20 years, like they're 50. And so their perspective on life has changed. And they want to focus, they like Randy because Randy kind of now best represents them where they are. And so that's where a lot of the crazier shit with Randy, because Randy's like my favorite character. I know everyone's like Cartman or Butters or something, but I love Randy Marsh. Because just like the crazy shit he gets into, and you know, and they've really evolved the character as time has gone on. So
yeah, I mean, I love the arc where like he buys the marijuana farm, just starts growing marijuana.
You know, that was actually my least favorite arc. I felt Tegrity Farms, they ran the joke into the ground a bit too far. You know,
yeah,
like
I understand that. Yeah,
like, it got a little bit like, all right, come on, get it. You know, they brought back Towley. I love Towley, but it didn't really go anywhere. I felt. You know, but that was also the thing too. They tried a season where they had a season-long arc with like, you know, PC Principal, who I fucking loved right from the get-go. And, you know, like all the jokes with that. And they had like a story they were trying to tell throughout the course of the season. And, cause they were kind of copying the way cable television does it. And then they went back to kind of doing more of the individual episodes. But I think the fans liked the kind of the overarching story. And maybe that's what they're going to do now. That's going to be kind of the best of both worlds, is by doing these movies, like these 3-episode movies or 4-episode movies, really. And then it's going to be, you know, tied in, having the seasons are going to be maybe individual. But again, look at the Console Wars trilogy of episodes. That was awesome.
I love those. They're still funny. I still rewatch them.
Those are great. The Imagination Land, that was going to be South Park the movie too. That was going to, you know, those are the kind of stories we're going to get going into this $900 million deal with Paramount Plus. So, I mean, I am just stoked to see what they do with that. Anyway, we've been talking a lot about I love Trey and Matt. I've been a fan since I was 15, you know, so I could talk about them all day. Let me just quickly get to this here. I just want to make sure we get caught up on everything. Geekus Idol here says, those are not Muppets, they're marionettes. That is true. That's a purist right there. Thank you, man. Galiot here for $5. Thank you, sir. Says, freaking loved Max's stream. Can't wait for our show together. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Max, man, that stream Max did tonight was interesting. Was definitely interesting. Yeah. Max finally stood up to some people, and he went like, no more, you bunch of you ist bigots.
You went pretty hard too.
Oh yeah. I don't care though. What are they gonna do? What are they gonna do?
Happy birthday, Gary.
Yeah, you bearded bitch. That will get clipped out. I know that will get clipped out. That was all off the cuff too. I had no plans for that one. I wanted to call in and make the joke about the critical race theory. Like, I call in, the first thing I say is critical race theory. Critical race theory. Oh my God, light the torch of Gondor. Fucking morons. It was a slow night tonight anyway. So, anyway, yeah, Max did a good stream. I recommend you guys go and check it out. Friday Night Whites is going to be the name of his recap show, where he watches the fandom menace and he tells us about all the terrible things that they've done. Honestly, good for him on that one. He needs a hobby. McLeod here with another 580. Thank you. Says, I feel like they got the particular style of the puppets, marionettes, right? We got to say marionettes because Geekicidal here corrected us. From the old Thunderbird show from the 60s. Oh, they absolutely did. I think they've even stated that was definitely an influence.
Yeah, I believe
on that. Because they also did a Thunderbirds movie. And if I recall, it was directed by Jonathan Frakes. Will Riker from yes, yeah, he's a director. He's done a lot of movies.
I know he is. I just didn't know.
I think he did the Thunderbirds movie. I remember. Let's see, Thunderbirds. I think it's like Thunderbirds Go or something. Thunderbirds movie, 2004. Directed by Jonathan Frakes here, starring Bill Paxton, Anthony Edwards, Sophia Myles, and Ben Kingsley. Music by Hans Zimmer. It had a budget of $57 million and only pulled in $28.3 million.
You know who else did the music for that? For Thunderbirds?
It was Ramin Djawadi.
Yeah, it does Game of Thrones.
Oh, is that the Game of Thrones guy?
Yep.
Oh man, wow. Yeah, he did. Oh wow, holy shit. All right. He won 2 Emmys for Game of Thrones. Wow. Okay. That's cool. Let's. Oh, okay. Hold on. I think like they did. No, I think the movie was live action. I just remember. I remember them doing it. We had it at work because I was working there in 2004. That's right. It was yeah. I think like the joke was they should have just done the effing puppets at the time, or the marionettes would have been funnier. It's like that, but that was Jonathan Frakes. I think he directed that after doing Clock Stoppers, which was an interesting, like, not time travel, but it's like stop time movie where Michael Biehn played the bad guy. So like, like, the original Kyle Reese was the bad guy. Anyway, Simon here with $5, man. Thank you. Says, if they do a Team America 2, would you like for them to do stick to puppets or bad CGI? Puppets, marionettes, man. Don't deviate from that shit. Like the amount of detail they put into like those sets were really funny. And you can find like they have like goldfish crackers, like, and when they go to Durkistan and like one of the women are walking with like a basket on her head, it's all goldfish crackers. And you can like look to see like little things like in the, like little things around there. And still, I love it, like Durka, Muhammad Jihad, Durka, Muhammad Ali. I think more people need to be like them. Geek here does say there was no cancel culture in the 90s. Oh, brother, there was. Oh, there absolutely was, man. Look, here's the thing. You got to go back. Like, cancel culture has always been a thing. It's never not been a thing. It just kind of just depends on really where you find the cancel culture, like which group of people are doing it. So, for example, like in the late 70s, there was a lot of hardcore right-wing religious idiots that thought that, like, legitimately, if you played rock and roll records backwards, that there would be satanic coding in there that would get people to go and kill. If you wanted your,
or the whole D&D controversy too.
There was the D&D controversy from the early 80s. That was one of, I think, Tom Hanks's first movie was a movie about where he played D&D and then like got sucked into the world. And it's like a weird like anti D&D shit. Then of course, in the late 80s, you had Tipper Gore and Joe Lieberman joining forces to basically try to ban rap music. And that's what prompted the parental advisory sticker. right? The parental advisory sticker that you would see on like mature like rock albums and rap albums, particularly. That was done as a fucking scare tactic back then because they were trying to cancel that kind of music because they didn't want it played. They thought it was corrupting the youth, i.e. coming out of predominantly urban areas. That was, very accurately representing like the feeling from like the animosity from the streets back then. There's a reason why that shit was a huge cultural movement in the 80s and early 90s. And they were trying to shut that down back then too. There was Bill Maher had the show Politically Incorrect in the 90s. There was a movie with Jeremy Piven and Jon Favreau called PCU, which stands for Politically Correct University, which is making fun of the woke kids because the pendulum always shifts. That's what you have to remember, Geekicidal. The pendulum always shifts. So in the late 80s or the late 70s through the 80s, it was right wing cancellation, right? Music, art, whatever. And then it started to shift back. And then it came to the head on the other side where the left was then the woke ones, and the woke ones were trying to cancel a lot of stuff, right? And then the pendulum kind of shift back the other way. And then the early 2000s, you would see more, not as bad from the right, but the left was a lot more open to comedy stylings from like Chappelle and people that were pushing the envelope back then. We had a lot of really kind of raunchy humor in the late 90s and early 2000s, the kind of humor you're not going to see today. You're not going to get movies like Road Trip or American Pie. You're not going to get stuff like that because they're too afraid of being canceled. They might do like an American Pie straight to DVD movie, but that's not going to be seen on a wide level like the originals. It's not going to have the impact because I was in between my junior year and my senior year when American Pie came out. And all of my friends, we rushed out to go see that because we were all going into our senior year of high school. So that movie was made for our audience. And not that people tried to cancel it, but remember, like even Kevin Smith's Dogma in 1999, they tried, the Catholic Church tried protesting it to cancel it.
Yeah.
I
remember that. That's pretty funny.
So it's like, you were like, what, like a 2?
Well, I remember reading the stories about it.
Yeah. Did you ever see the video of Kevin Smith protesting alongside the protesters?
No, I don't think I did. No.
Yeah. He went out to one of the protests and ended up like being interviewed by the news as one of the protestees and shit. So it's really one of those things. Amazing. I'm just saying, like, there is cancel culture in the 90s. There's cancel culture has always existed. Now, because of social media, that's how it's more or less proliferated. And there's a lot of cancel culture now on anything. The problem, though, is that like most people don't deserve to be canceled. And the people that probably do deserve to be canceled, all they have to sit there and go is play to their base. Mm. And they can get wrapped up in their own echo chamber. And then from there, they're not going to get canceled because the people that they profit from aren't going to let them go. Like, for example, if let's say, as a hypothetical, let's say Doomcock and Nerdrotic and Geeks and Gamers lose the monetization on their channel. Okay, I'm using it strictly as a hypothetical. Okay, they would probably not hurt for money because they would be able to then cry victim and their audience would then rally around them and throw money. Remember when Jeremy got mad over Zack Snyder and the Geeks and Gamers hate group thing? He went on and did a live stream completely off the cuff, off the rails, ridiculous, made over $3,200 in super chats.
Yeah, a lot of money.
A lot of money. Now, he said he was going to be donating to charity, but there's a double-edged sword on that one too. Or there's an alternative motive on that one. And the reason why is because all that money, that $3,200, is going to go through his social security number through AdSense. And so him donating all that to charity, all that does is give him a fucking tax write-off. That's all it does. It just gives him a tax write-off. That's it. You basically, all his people who gave him that money, they saved him money by being able to show that that is a charitable contribution that he can get a slip for it to put on his fucking taxes. America. Anyway, so that whole long ramble about that. There's that right there. So, but thank you guys for listening to that one. All right. Command Unit here with another 15 shekels. Thank you, man. Says there's an amazing Russian space film called Salute 7. Find the video on YouTube called Salute 7 trailer English subs. It's really good. All right, we'll take a look at that one here. I'm just going to write that one down. Salute 7, okay. And then Otis here with $5. Thank you, man. It says they should make an Orgasmo too. I agree. I think it'd be really funny if they did an Orgasmo too.
I've never seen the original, so I have no comment on that.
Did you watch the trailer when we showed the trailer?
Feel like I missed it.
Oh, all right. We're gonna have to do, we're gonna go. Okay, we're gonna rush through probably a couple of the final things here, and then we'll get into some trailer stuff here. All right, Benson here with £2 says late tonight was busy watching Wayne T. Carr's movies. Oh, dude.
Wow, that's not nice, Benson.
Oh, come on. Come on. Anyway, let's see here. McLeod for another $5 says Frakes even admitted that it was the biggest piece of crap he ever made. Oh, talking about Thunderbirds? Yeah, he should stick with doing Next Generation movies.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, because the best one he directed, I think, was First Contact. That movie still holds up.
Oh, it's amazing. It's a great movie.
Yeah, I still can't. I mean, Insurrection and
Insurrection's.
I mean, like Worf going through puberty. Okay.
Yeah, there's some best dumb stuff in that movie.
Yeah, but wasn't Viola Davis in that one?
Was she? I don't know.
Who's in that? But no, I mean, and then what was the last one? Nemesis.
Nemesis was not good.
Not the best thing. I watched it like one time when it came out, and I was like, okay, Data dies. That part sucks. Oh, but he's kind of back in the end. Okay, cool. I can walk away now. Because I still love TNG, but First Contact is the best one that they made. But yeah, Thunderbirds was crap. It was crap. All right. Anyone remember Demolition Man in the PC future? Yes, Rational. We kind of live there now. Especially if we start getting social credits like China has.
Taco Bell hasn't taken over everything now.
Taco Bell. Yeah, but like they will, RJ. Actually, no, here's the thing. Here's how Taco Bell is going to take over. They're going to have to come up with a chicken sandwich.
Oh no. See, well, here's the thing. Demolition Man, they should have predicted a chicken sandwich wars.
Well, I mean, like that's kind of the whole
fast food war.
It is right now. I mean, obviously, like, was it Popeyes, the chain, the company?
Chick-fil-A,
well, no, the company that owns Popeyes also bought Burger King.
Yeah, you told me about that.
Yeah, so it's like I was at Popeyes picking up an order the other day, and I'm looking at their spicy chicken sandwich, which I haven't had, but apparently people have been killed over, and or they've been maimed or hurt at least. And I'm looking at that ad, and then I had to go to Burger King, which is like literally right across the street. And I'm like, all right. And I look at their little thing for like chicken sandwich. Like, those look really fucking familiar. Like, I think it's the same. I think it's like the same advert, but they just appeal to a different demographic. Like the people who go to Burger King aren't probably going to go to Popeyes. Mm-hmm. Just saying. It's just like, but Popeyes, man, to quote the 2002 Adam Sandler comedy classic, Little Nicky, Popeyes chicken is the shiznit. I'm not all right. Let's see. Benson here with another £2. Thank you, man. It says Jehovah's Witness cult tried to ban Thriller. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. That would not surprise me. What damn ass bit.
Witnesses tried to cancel.
You know what? They were successful in killing off birthdays within their cult, and that sucks, man. No birthday, no Christmas, no celebration of any kind. What kind of bland oatmeal existence is that?
Yeah. Jehovah's Witnesses are very strange people.
Yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, as Tekka here says, don't forget about Ice-T and his band Body Count. I remember, when he had the song "Cop Killer." That was a big one. That was a big thing for Ice-T. He got a lot of people were mad about that one. All right, let's go. Okay. Let's see here. Fourth 1000 says, not sure if we mentioned the Red Scare, which led to the destruction of the Betty Page photos. I didn't talk about that. I don't know about that personally, but I should look into that a bit because that's a very fascinating thing. I mean, it doesn't surprise me. I know, if you're talking like the Red Scare, like McCarthyism and shit, I honest to God, I know the highlights of that, but there might be a lot of very interesting things that I don't know about that. So I should look into it.
The Red Scare stuff and stuff that happened in Hollywood. It's a fascinating thing you could totally research for weeks on.
Yeah,
it's really in-depth stuff.
interesting to see how, like, and even now, I don't want to sit there and say like, we're in like another era of McCarthyism, but I like, the thing is, there are people out there who have conservative politics in Hollywood who can't express it. But they also, to be fair, like, they sometimes express it in really shitty ways. So for example, like Adam Baldwin, Jane from Firefly. I know Adam, we've hung out. I like Adam. I think he's a genuinely good person, but he's a conservative, open conservative. And he had a controversy a number of years ago where I think he came out like against gay marriage. And I don't agree with him entirely. Like, not at all. It's like, just let him get married, shit. But like, that kind of went against him. Like, well, like, people also chose to focus on that. And, but they went after him for it too. And it's kind of like, at what point do you have where does he, like, who gets to control who has the abhorrently shitty opinion, Mm-hmm. And like, what's the consequence of that? Like, there was a woman yesterday or the other day on Twitter who attacked, she's like an Asian writer for Vox, who attacked, I don't want to say attacked, but she criticized a white woman who'd written a book about dumplings and noodles, a cookbook for dumplings and noodles. And like, dude, the internet just tore her to pieces by both sides.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
Both sides of the aisle just tore her ass to pieces. And I think what it is it's kind of like people are fucking sick and tired of this shit. It's like the PC culture from the 90s got pushed back upon. It took a long time to get there. But then again, like I talked about before, that pendulum has shifted backwards.
Yeah.
And that pendulum,
people aren't going to stand for it anymore.
They're like, no, like, yeah, get out of here. Shut up. Go away. Like all you got to say is like, it's kind of like, like how you explain to like my daughter's 3, almost 4. And she's starting to have bad dreams, right? She's starting to understand bad dreams occasionally. So she told me today, she's like, we're walking to the park and she's like, Daddy, there were monsters in my closet last night. And I'm like, oh, really? And I'm like, what'd you do? She's like, I told them to go. And I'm like, good. You just say, get out of here, monster. She's like, yeah, get out of here, monster. My 3-year-old's awesome. I love my kid. I love both my kids, dude. My kids are like the coolest fucking people. Like my youngest today, she's 2, just turned 2. She likes to go down slides. We went to this park with like big slides. She can't climb up to get to it, but I put her up and she went right over and like slid down it. And she fought, like, rockets out the end and like slides and falls right on her ass and just laughs and gets up and wants to do it again. Like, my kids are so cool. I love my kids. But anyway, you just got to tell him. He's got to like kind of bop him on the nose, like the monster, the invisible monster, and just go like, no, stop it. And that's the thing though, is like, if there's a valid reason, like let's say somebody is like trying to, if the opinion is something that is meant to cause violence that won't be protected by free speech, then I can understand the push for cancellation on that. Someone calling for violence. But we also got to push back against people getting fired from their jobs for having, the fact that shit gets turned into sport,
right,
like, and it does
celebrating that.
Yeah. Like, there's a woman, look up a woman named Justine Sacco. A number of years ago, she was flying from London to, I want to say Australia, and it was Africa. It was like, I think it was Southern Africa. And she had tweeted out like, on my way to Africa, hope I don't get AIDS. Haha. Just kidding. I'm white. Very stupid thing to say, but it caught the attention of Gawker, and it caught the attention of a number of these people who started tracking the plane. And during the 12 hours that she was without internet access on that flight, they built a website called whereisjustine.com that was in real time tracking the plane. They had found her employer. They had found her name. They'd found her address. They contacted her employer. They informed her employer of what she had said. Gawker had written articles about it. The employer fired her before she landed. There was somebody who went to the airport and waited for her to land just so he could get a picture of her as she walked off the plane and was recognizing that her life as she knew it was over.
That's horrible.
And it's like, that was done not because anyone actually cared, but because it was done for sport. That's all it is.
Like a modern day witch hunt.
Yeah, and basically, that's how a lot of the stuff plays out. Yeah, it is. Real quick here, hold on. X-Car says, Matt has a grudge against Jeremy and Neurotic. I don't like proliferators of bullshit. I don't like people who actively lie to their audience and get them angry in order to push a bullshit narrative that's easily debunked. I don't like grifters and scumbags. None of us are perfect, and I've made many mistakes myself. But that's something I will never, ever, 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 ever fucking do. And that shit has wide-reaching implications within this section of YouTube, where people legitimately believe that Kathleen Kennedy is siphoning off adrenochrome from the younglings slaughtered at the Jedi fucking temple. All right, like these are the crazy people that are out there, and they're fucking backed up by people like Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers and Gary from Nerdrotic. That's why I don't like him. That's my beef. And then also Simon here says people tried to cancel Michael Keaton as bad. What? That I don't know about.
Well, in '89 when they announced he was cast, people wrote letters to Warner Brothers saying you will not make Mr. Mom Batman, because the last big movie he's known for is Mr. Mom.
Them bitches never saw Multiplicity. I was 7 when the Batman movie came out. When that came out, I was 7 years old. I saw it in the theater. I was 7 years old. I remember going to the theater to go see that movie. Did not give two shits what Michael Keaton had done before then. Still to this day, don't care. Motherfucker is Batman. You know what I mean? It's so dumb. It's so dumb. You know? Anyway, we are just we're getting way off topic here. I'm trying to catch up on super chats before we get into the next thing, so I just don't lose it. All right, we're good on that one there. There's another one down over here. Rational Skeptic, $5 more, man. Thank you. Says, remember when Gawker and Adrian Chen and Anderson Cooper came after Violent Krez for being a mod on Creepshots on Reddit? Yes, I do remember that. Oh, Violent Acres. It was Violent Acres was the guy's name. So the story there is that was Adrian Chen through Gawker, or was he BuzzFeed at the time? I forget who he was, but anyway, there was a mod. There was a guy, kind of a prolific mod on Reddit, a guy named Violent Acres, and he ran a subreddit called Creepshots, which you can kind of assume what that is. It's, like men would post photos, or people would post photos of basically creep shots of women. Either they would a shot up a skirt, or they would cleavage shot or whatever. And he ran that, and he had other questionable things that he had said. And they found out who he was, and they exposed him. They exposed him for it. And the guy lost his job and was plastered all over everything. And I've never really agreed with that because don't get me wrong. I didn't like the subreddit. And I think I clicked on it before it was gone because I hadn't heard about it before. And there was there was videos on there of some dude and he'd wear a sweater so you wouldn't think he was a creeper, but he would hold his jacket on the other side of his he'd pull out his junk and he'd start masturbating around a woman. Jesus. And then it'd be different women, and then he would just walk up behind them and just nut on their pants or on the back of their jeans or something. And then I don't know if it was real or fake, but that was on the creep shots thing, and I'm all that's gross. That's that was also Reddit. That was more also the wildlands of Reddit. They've tamed the hell up ever since then, because then you had Ellen Pao, who was the CEO, who come in massive censorship stuff. And I really kind of feel I've always wondered if the Violent Acres thing was part of a concentrated effort to clamp down on Reddit, really clamp down on Reddit, because a lot of those, there was one Reddit, I think it was r/dead kids. People would post photos of dead kids. I don't know why. Not the kids that they killed or anything like that, but just there's a lot of I'm on the true crime subreddits on there, and people post crime scene photos, and I peruse the crime scene. I like true crime. I read up on this stuff, so it's that stuff that's out there, and it's some of it's pretty fucked up. But there's been this massive push on Reddit to for years to kind of clamp down. And that also saw a large push to 4chan. And this is kind of the problem is when you've got all of these companies that are trying to silence stuff, it just drives people further underground. And that's kind of why we have QAnon at this point in time. So it is anyway.
It's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing. Mr. Chang here says thoughts on globalism. I'm not going to go down that pipeline right now, man. Anyway. So let's, there's a lot going on. There's a lot in this world that I know about, but you know what I know about today, RJ, that I really, really, really like?
What?
Captain America 4 confirmed, man. Captain America 4 confirmed. Hell of a segue right there. Talking about nut and running, and then let's move over to Anthony Mackie.
Yeah, we pretty much knew about this though, didn't we? They announced it right after the show got. Well, Hollywood Reporter said it was in the works. Right?
They said that they were working on doing a Captain America 4, and of course, Anthony Mackie didn't say much about it. But it says here he has closed the deal to carry the shield in his first superhero picture as Captain America 4. Feige's Marvel Studios keeps its details well under wraps, and it isn't clear whether the movie will involve Sebastian Stan, who starred with Mackie in Falcon and Winter Soldier.
I'd be shocked if he wasn't involved.
Sebastian Stan, I think, did say today in response to this, hell yes. So either he's, I'm sure he's happy for his buddy. I'm sure he's very happy for his buddy. And that's something that I really want to see what's going to be happening here. Because I think Anthony Mackie's a fine actor. And now the thing is, Captain America 4 is being scripted by Malcolm Spellman, along with series staff writer Dylan Musson. This is not believed to be the top secret project that Justin Kroll might have mentioned by bringing Chris Evans back into the fold. And a director hasn't been set. I'll say this. I hope that they do not bring back the director from the show.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. I know you have your feelings on that.
I have so I loved Falcon and Winter Soldier, but I feel like there was a fair amount of it that it just didn't vibe well. Now that might have been because that was their first production. That was their first, it's kind of like Captain Carter's episode of What If. That was their first episode that they ever worked on. Yeah. So they might have been trying to figure it out for this, and that could be the problem. I don't quite know. However, I did like the writing, and I'd like to see what they're going to come up with the Captain America 4. Obviously, Winter Soldier has got to be in it. I think the two are just a unit at this point. And, it should be called Captain America and the Winter Soldier is what it should be.
Yeah, but I'm curious to see what the storyline is. Is it going to continue where the show left off with Sharon Carter and that whole thing? Are they going to do Serpent Society?
They're going to the Power Broker. They're going to have to tie into that stuff, right? Because I think because that's the thing with Captain America and Winter Soldier. What I loved about the show Falcon and Winter Soldier, was that it was grounded. It was very grounded. Whereas WandaVision was magical, right? And Loki was very interdimensional, time travel, these sort of thing. So they had different vibes, but I like the political thriller aspect of the Captain America franchise.
Yeah. $10. I'm going to make a bet right now. I think this is going to be the first movie with the Dark Avengers or the Thunderbolts in it.
Well, they are definitely building towards the Thunderbolts and the Young Avengers.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if they're going to do Dark Avengers or they're going to make it Thunderbolts or an amalgamation of the two. It seems like it's going to be Thunderbolts, but I think this is the movie they debut in.
Probably. And again, we're talking about this with Mikey Sutton last night, where there's a lot of, where do you take it after a while, right? Well, they can build up to some stuff. They have enough material to keep going for a while.
Yeah.
Now, hold on. Dark Beast here says, well, they also had to change the series pretty much in post, Matt, since they kind of cut out a whole pandemic-like storyline. That's the rumor, yeah. And I think they also cut an episode or something too. I don't know. WandaVision cut an episode. So did What If. What If actually was going to be 10 episodes. They cut one because of timing. Season, yeah. And that's going to be the season 2 premiere. So, I get that. It's, we'll have to wait and see what happens with them. I'm very interested to see where things go. Let's see here. Lord Slug says, I wonder how they will change the Thunderbolts because the comic was such a Suicide Squad ripoff.
Yeah, they pretty much are Marvel's Suicide Squad, so it's going to be interesting how they handle that.
Well, they're going to look to see how the Suicide Squad maybe wasn't the best received. So, obviously, it's one of those, we'll have to wait and see. I don't know what they're going to do with it.
I'm looking forward to Captain America 4, though. I think they said they're looking to start production early next year. So that's pretty promising. I think it's going to be coming a lot sooner than we anticipated, perhaps. So I would expect maybe they'll announce it at Disney Investor Day, maybe end of the year. Or is that only for Disney Plus? I don't remember.
I think that's for Disney Plus.
Okay,
that's for Disney. That's for Disney Plus on that one. Okay. Yeah, we'll have to see how it plays out. I don't know yet. I really have no idea. But I'm very curious to see where it goes. Obviously. All right, let's get into the next thing here. All right, so we got Johnny Depp's $50 million defamation suit can go forward. You hear this was yesterday. I wanted to talk about this. Because I find the situation to be fascinating. I'm not like, I don't cover it constantly, but this is big news. This is a big thing.
Yeah. I have not heard of this yet, so I'll be curious.
Okay. So Johnny Depp, ultimately, he ended up losing his, the defamation suit in the UK to the Sun, right? Mm-hmm. And that was a big fact. That was a big problem. So he's got the one here in the US for $50 million against Amber Heard. And then she tried to get it tossed out of court, and the judge was all like, nah. And the reason why was because of the UK libel verdict. But libel in the UK, the laws for that are very different than here.
Right.
And a lot
of two completely different, judges.
Yeah. Is. It's way looser over there, by the way, guys. Like, it's way looser over there. So that's kind of what's happening on this front. Now, according to this here, because there was that thing with Johnny Depp talking about Hollywood boycotting him. But anyway, which I think it kind of is. And I think that's unfair. But then we talked about cancel culture.
Well, it's double standard. Why
it's Johnny a massive.
Johnny Depp's getting kicked out, but Amber Heard can still work. Right.
I mean, look, here's the thing. Hollywood is risk averse. All right. They're risk averse. So this whole thing surrounding Johnny Depp is just like, that's just them covering their ass. I don't like it. But that is why. Never mind, he has a more storied career. He's got his problems with drinking, but he's never really been a bad boy. He's had maybe the air, the look of being a bad boy since younger days, but he's never like Winona Ryder, other girlfriends have come out and been like, no, he's a gentleman. He's a great guy. I don't know anyone who's ever said anything bad about Johnny Depp. This is a guy.
It was probably just a really toxic relationship. That's
and I've said that, and I've caught flack for that. I'm like, I think they were bad for each other. I really do. I think they were bad for each other. And they, she clearly set him up, and he clearly reacted poorly, and they hurt each other. I think they did. And it's like, but the thing is it all would have been fine and dandy. But Amber Heard had to go write that fucking Washington Post op-ed. And that was a violation of their fucking divorce agreement. So, that's kind of the whole point, is like they basically said, like, he paid her like $7 million that she was going to send to a children's charity, which he's now actually got the legal go ahead to get that information to see whether or not she actually gave that money to charity. And I don't think she did. I could be wrong. If I recall correctly, she didn't. And that's going to be a big thing. But like, yeah, it's look, when the whole story actually comes out, I have a feeling it's going to be very fascinating to see kind of how things, so there's that. Now, Geeko Saddle here does say that the libel laws cases in the U.S. are the hardest cases to win. That is true. It's also a civil case, not a legal case. And that is something that's fascinating. Mm-hmm. I did not realize.
Like I put in the private chat, just breaking news like a couple minutes ago at exactly midnight.
Grab me that trailer on YouTube and link it in, and we'll watch it here in a second. We'll just finish up going through this. All right. So according to the judge here, the court was not persuaded by the defendant's argument that plaintiff had full and fair opportunity to litigate the UK action. Defendant was not part of the UK. This is talking about Amber Heard. Defendant was not part of the UK action and was not treated as one, meaning that the suit that he filed against the Sun was about them calling him a wife beater. Amber Heard was not part of that. So that was a thing. And then so it also says here that the judge mentioned that both Heard and Depp took the stand over in London over their respective point of views on the various allegations of the behavior. But she also said here, because she was not named a defendant, she was not subject to the same discovery rules applicable to named parties. In fact, the defendant could not have not been named a defendant in the litigation because her allegedly defamatory statements were made after the UK action commenced. And then this is citing the December 2018 Washington Post op-ed by Heard that set Depp off on the legal things. Because that's the whole thing, is like, her writing that thing about him is a big thing. So more or less,
something to keep an eye on for sure.
This is going to be a big thing. So as always, I have been very much in the pro Johnny Depp camp. If you look into Amber Heard's past, she does have a violent past with other girlfriends. She does have issues. And there's all that. So Let's take a look here at the it just literally dropped.
It's such a strange time to drop a trailer, though, I will say.
At 12 o'clock in the morning, at midnight. Why? That's kind of weird. Usually they would drop like at 5 a.m. or something.
Or like 9 a.m., like 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's very strange.
Yeah.
But
so
hey,
I don't know.
I'm not going to complain. We're going to watch it right now.
Yeah, we're going to check out the trailer, obviously, right now. Let me just prep this.
Yes.
So this is
The Eternals.
Oh, it's good. The Eternals, trailer number 2.
The final trailer.
The final, yeah. The they had one trailer. Oh my god! All right, let's see how. Let me know if you can hear it
too.
Yeah, let me know if you can hear this.
Yes, I can.
Okay.
5 years ago, Thanos erased half of the population of the universe. But the people of this planet brought everyone back with a snap of a finger. The sudden return of the population provided the necessary energy for the emergence to begin.
How long do we have?
7 days.
What is the emergence?
We're Eternals. We came here 7,000 years ago to protect humans from the deviants.
Why didn't you guys help fight Thanos? Or any war, all the other terrible things throughout history?
We were instructed not to interfere in any human conflicts unless deviants are involved.
By who?
Oh, wow. That's listing.
Wait, is that who I think it is?
The others.
I haven't seen some of them for centuries.
Hi.
Hello.
This is what the end of the world looks like. At least we have front row seats.
You know what's never saved the planet? Your sarcasm.
There you go, Charbo. They
Love these people.
Yeah,
since
about time.
we arrived. When you love something, you protect it.
You can't protect. Any of them.
I bet you've built the perfect safe house. I mean, what's this even made of? Vibranium?
Fall collection. IKEA.
Wow.
All right. That looked. I mean, look, it's better than the first trailer.
Much better than the first trailer. I'll say that.
So
There's a lot going on, though.
All right. So I'm unfamiliar with most of what the hell's going on.
Yeah, they're very obscure characters, a lot of a very obscure story, but there was a lot of Celestials that we saw back in Guardians of the Galaxy 2014.
Was there?
Mm-hmm. I think one of the Celestials that they showed was the same one that used the Power Stone in Guardians. In the little,
right, yeah.
Flashback, yeah.
Yeah. Was that the same guy that we just saw here? Because that helmet looked familiar, but like I don't.
The guy at the end, like holding Angelina Jolie, I have no clue who the hell that was.
No, I'm talking about like when they said, "Oh, who told you not to say anything?" and like the helmet that guy was wearing.
Oh yeah. I think that's the same Celestial.
Okay.
Because the Celestials are like the gods of the universe, basically. Like whatever they say goes, right? Like,
yeah.
So that was very intriguing. Icarus looks a lot like Superman, which is funny, like the heat beams and stuff.
Oh yeah, and he even has like a Henry Cavill look to him too,
Mm-hmm.
which is really, 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 really funny. All right. Well, here's the thing. We'll Let me see. This is the all right. Hold on, if I could think.
So, someone's gonna break down this trailer like right away.
Oh yeah. I have a feeling like heavy spoilers is like I just woke up in the morning. What are you doing to me, you bastards?
What a weird time to drop this trailer though. Typically they'd wait till like 9 in the morning.
Yeah, I know. Grace Randolph is probably like getting called right now. Get up, get the fuck up, Grace. Do it.
All the reactors are like, I thought we could sleep. I thought it was in the morning. That again, very strange. I don't know if it's because they like, because you'd want it launched in the morning. That way, it's like they talk about the entire day, not the middle of the night, unless there's a reason for it. I don't know.
I will maintain my thought process on the fact that this is a movie that that does not have hype. They want to build it, but they're dropping it overnight so people can like talk about it overnight and like get it trending. So this is the guy. Who is this guy? This is another Celestial? I mean, well, look at his outfit. His outfit would...
Oh, there's none on the screen.
Oh, motherfucker. Sorry. Who's this guy?
Yeah, it's a Celestial.
Okay. Someone...
let me see if I can find the...
Translate this here. The notice has been released. Wow, here I said enjoy. Thank you for that riveting tweet. Maybe someone will say who it is. I don't know.
So this is the one in, let me share my screen real quick. So this is the one from Guardians 2014. Where is it? There we go. That's him right there. If I can zoom in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's the same one that used the Power Stone. He has like the 6 eyes.
Yeah, okay. That's why he looked familiar and shit. Okay. Yeah. I think but there's also like Galactus's hat looks kind of similar as well. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like Galactus has kind of got like that, the hat. I mean, well, okay. Not entirely. Maybe I overthought it, but I'm looking at it right now and it's got the little like things on the side that don't.
Yeah. They're saying that his name is Asan the Searcher. That's what they called him back in 2014. That specific Celestial.
Okay. So we're going to find out more about that. That's interesting stuff.
I just wonder who the hell that guy that was talking to Angelina Jolie. Like, I think that's a deviant.
Well, yeah, obviously the deviants are going to be the bad guys.
Yeah, but it looked weird because, like, I don't know why, but, like, for a second, I thought, is that Gore the God Butcher? I don't know why, because it would make no sense for him to be there. It just kind of looked like that character.
Well, I mean, teaming or kind of having him be a cameo could lead into Thor. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised about that.
Yeah, so, I'm looking to see if there's anything else I can find.
I don't know, man. I have
there's a new poster showcasing
I
saw the natural lighting that I know you're very excited about.
Ooh, yeah. Ooh, natural lighting, you guys. Natural fucking lighting here. You know me. Ooh. Like it's just, I don't know, it doesn't interest me at all. It doesn't interest me.
I think that deviant, I think it is a deviant. That grabbed Angelina Jolie. I think his name's Crow. That's Crow the Deviant.
Okay.
That's what some people are speculating.
Crow the Deviant. All right. Well, that's definitely something. I mean, no, don't get me wrong. It looked a lot better. All right. It looked a lot better this time. It looked interesting. It's definitely something that, I think could be, it could be fun. I think it could be a lot of fun. I think, whatever they're going to be doing with Shang-Chi, because apparently that is like blowing people away.
Yeah. Surprised that this is the final trailer though. I figured they would have done 3 trailers, not 2.
Well, I know. They didn't even drop a teaser. They dropped that one trailer.
Mm-hmm. And which is basically a teaser.
Which is a teaser. Then this is giving you the story trailer. This is the story trailer. I assume there's going to be, because there's so many Eternals, we're going to get individual trailers about
like TV
each
spots or something.
Yeah, TV spots about each person. So it's all like, do you want to know who Kumail Nanjiani is playing in this movie? Fuck it, we're going to tell you. Like
yeah, I do appreciate that they explained why the Eternals never were around until now. That the snap is what unites them again, because the energy brought back the deviants. So it's tying into Endgame and Infinity War.
All right. Well, I mean, at least now, because that question of like, like we've been around forever and we've been ordered to like not say anything, like to not do anything. And then here you've got Kit Harington like, yeah, where the fuck were you? Like, who the fuck were you? Well, we were told not to. By fucking who? By that fucking 6-eyed bastard?
Yeah, I know. You
Like-
didn't interfere in their slavery, genocide.
Yeah. Rational here is asking, when is the Matrix 4 trailer dropping? Fuck if I know. I think Matrix.
It's going to be next year.
It's going to get delayed, and then because it's not going to be in the 2021 slate, they're going to be pulling it off of HBO Max. That's my take on it.
So do you think this is going to stick to theaters only? You think it's going to get premiere access?
I think it's going to get premiere access because Jungle Book and Cruella and Black Widow.
Cruise.
Sorry, thank you. Jungle Cruise, Cruella, and Black Widow have all been like in the top 5 movies of the summer so far.
Yeah,
they're all in the
ratings too.
Yeah, they're all top. They've all made a lot of money, at least for the pandemic, and they've also done very well on Disney Plus. So that 45-day window for Shang-Chi is going to put Shang-Chi right on Disney Plus within like a week or two, right before this one pops out. So it could be as a way to kind of boost it, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Obviously, this is being released now to play in front of Shang-Chi. It's a more action trailer too, which I know
it's meant to get people to go, oh look, Angelina Jolie doing something again. Where has she been? That's been weird.
And she's right in the middle of the poster too. You notice that?
Yeah, well, she's the biggest star on there. You know,
True.
even though Gemma Chan is technically the star of the movie because her name is top up there, and then you've got her off on the side. You got Richard Madden right there. And then all because they're going to have to introduce literally all fucking 10 of those people.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the hardest.
The first half of the movie is like getting the band back together.
Yeah. Who the fuck wants that at this point? I think we're all kind of over that shit. That's kind of the whole point.
Maybe it'll be very quick though.
Maybe. It's just going to be like sunset, transition to sunset, transition to sunset.
I think it's going to be awards gold.
That's what they want it for. They want it. Yeah, they want it for awards gold, 100%. They absolutely. You could tell. Look, I'm not saying Chloe Zhao is like a bad director. It looked like it was directed well.
Very well.
But, however, the other side of that too is, remember that when it comes to the edit, Marvel kind of oversees the edit. Feige oversees the edit. The directors don't oversee the edit. Once they're done, they're done. Like once they're done shooting it, it's being edited by the Marvel team. And because they know how to create the aesthetic, the feel, the vibe that allows it to kind of have that homogenous feel to it. So, they're going to go back and do reshoots or whatever, probably. Oh, well, at this point, the movie's definitely been done.
Yeah, it's been done, I would say.
It's been done.
It was done like a year ago.
Yeah, but even that CG in that trailer looked a little sus. It was better than the first trailer, but it's like this must be old footage that they had ready to go. They probably cut a trailer out that they were going to do.
Yeah.
But
I'll say this trailer made me a lot more interested, which I think was the goal, get more people talking about it.
It definitely got me interested in it. Yeah, but it's still not as interesting as the What If T'Challa was Star-Lord.
Well, yeah, but that's different though. I mean, I think this movie's gonna be interesting because I think this one might be what they're gonna do for like a long play for like play at the box office. I think out of all the movies coming up, this is the one that sets up the future for the MCU the most. Because like directly following the events of Endgame, explaining because of what happened in this movie, here's what's happening now.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think let me take a look here. So, all right, I just want to see. So we've got
the goddamn Spider-Man trailer though. That's what I want.
Well, that's gonna come. I think that's gonna be before Shang-Chi is. That's gonna be Venom. That's actually like the next thing I wanted to talk about real quick. But I want to see here. All right, so episode. Okay, yeah. So. What If is going to end is going to end either the first week or second week of October, really. So it's going to be right around October. So I don't know if it's going to tie into this as well. So the other thing here that I wanted to talk about tonight, the fourth story of the night, is that Venom 2 might get delayed. This has been something that's been talked about quite a bit today. And a lot of people have been going like, well, Venom 2 could be delayed because of how movies are going. Free Guy, did 28 million. That's not terrible for the pandemic, but the Sony really wants to make this thing. And if Venom gets delayed, Spider-Man is going to be delayed.
Yeah, I know. I'm very, very nervous. Again, the litmus test is going to be Shang-Chi. They're waiting to see how that opens.
Yes. And so according to the Hollywood Reporter, Venom Let There Be Carnage could soon see another release date, with Venom 2's recent delay. Again, that was only by like 2 weeks or something like that.
Which gives them enough time to wait and see how Shang-Chi does.
Yeah. Some online speculate that No Way Home might follow suit. Tom Hardy's upcoming Venom sequel was originally slated to hit theaters October of last year. And so, yeah, and it's been hit with 3 delays since then.
That really sucks.
And I don't know why the fuck they put the synopsis for Sony's first Venom movie on here. Oh, why right. Not? They're trying to, why they are is because they're trying to fill 500 words.
Pretty much.
Heroic Hollywood is absolutely dog shit, by the way. But that is something
I don't like their website.
So I don't know if it's going to end up being delayed or not. I don't know.
Well, here's a question for you. Let's say Venom 2 gets delayed and Spider-Man goes with it. Where the hell are they going to put Spider-Man? Because Doctor Strange 2 and the Multiverse of Madness is supposed to take place after No Way Home. So that movie has to come out before.
Well, they would probably push it back to March, is what I'm thinking. So, I just
they'd like switch, because maybe what they would do is like instead of releasing Morbius in January, they release Venom in January, maybe.
Yeah, probably something along those lines. Release it during the winter when we have another wave.
You got to be careful because again, Spider-Man is supposed to take place before Doctor Strange 2, so that movie has to come out before March.
Yeah, they're right now they're just trying to figure it out, but they may not have a choice. I mean, even look at No Time to Die. No Time to Die is probably not going to get delayed again because they're losing money on it already.
Yeah, and this point, he's got to release it.
They got to release it and hedge your bets. But real quick here, H Barts with $2 says Eternals at Amazon. I don't know what that means.
I don't know either. I feel like I'm missing a joke and I feel bad.
Yeah, I don't. I love you, buddy, but I don't know. I don't know what that means. And then also another quick thing I wanted to touch upon here. Two quick things. So this came out today too. That Deadline is reporting that David Yates, that Warner Brothers let David Yates know that there would be a break between the 3rd and 4th Fantastic Beasts films.
And now he's doing an original movie.
And he's doing an original movie over I forget, with the Sony, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, I think
it's not Warner Brothers. He's finally, after all these years of like a decade of working on Harry Potter
and nothing but Harry Potter.
No, didn't he do the Tarzan movie?
He did Tarzan. That was the one other movie he did.
Yeah, and that one, The Legend of Tarzan, I think is what, I don't know. I never saw it. I own it, but I've never seen it. But then I found this tweet from Viewer Anon, who says here, Fantastic Beasts 3 test screenings are going great. And again, when it comes to Viewer Anon, certain scoopers have certain insiders have certain areas of expertise.
Viewer Anon's great with the test screenings and knowing the studio thinks of a movie ahead of time.
Yeah, he knows a lot about that. Whereas like Daniel RPK knows trailers. I will grant him that. He's good with trailers. So I did ask the question earlier tonight too. I said, do you think this is going to end the franchise? And I think it will. I know if they're saying here it's going to be a break between the 3rd and 4th movies, they've already run the risk right now of having that break slowed the momentum. I mean, losing Johnny Depp was the stupidest thing they could have done. And that's going to backlash against them. Quite frankly, it's no one's fucking business. It's going to hit them hard. And it's their own goddamn fault.
People are already getting fatigued with the movie anyway, right? So
yeah. I mean, they could finish it with this movie and be done with it. I think it'd be okay.
Wasn't the rumor saying that they were like the movie could lead to a sequel, but it's also standalone enough to where it could just be the last one and be done with it too. I could have sworn that's what the rumors were saying.
I don't know. I don't know what's going to what's really going to go on with this. It could be practically fucking anything. But this goes to show you that the Harry Potter brand is in pretty dire straits, in my opinion. And they just need to really kind of run out the clock on Universal having, I think 2025 is how long Universal has the rights to that stuff. So they can start adapting it, for HBO Max. Cause I'm telling you right now, they're going to adapt the Harry Potter books into a show for HBO Max. It's going to be a 7.
Yeah. When you told me about that idea, I'm like, that sounds smart. It just makes sense.
That's what David Zaslav will spend the fucking money on.
Because he'd make a lot of money.
That's why I keep saying high fantasy is coming back. Fantasy is coming back. Not that superhero stuff is dying, But like, honest to God, the way DC is going these days, I'm going to talk about this tomorrow. I'll cover it more tomorrow. But that whole thing today with Michael Keaton talking about how he had to read the Flash script multiple times to understand how his character came back.
See, he's like, I have no idea. Like, he's just like nodding his head, says, I have no idea what you're talking about, but okay.
Sure. It's like, I have no idea what's going on, but the paycheck is fantastic.
Sony 2 and Morbius or something too?
Yeah. Like
both of those. It's like, okay.
Yeah. Like, and I know he's probably just being cheeky, to be fair. But again, the whole concept of everything involving the DC world and what's going on with that now is just they've been bunking it left and right. So I feel personally like it's running its course. And I know, like, I think next year is going to be a real big thing on that. And then also, this was kind of fascinating that Aquaman 2 was inspired by this 1960 science fiction horror pulp film, says James Wan. And did you hear about this? Did you read this one at all?
No, I did not.
So what they're saying here is that the story for Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom drew heavy inspiration from an influential campy 1960s Italian science horror film called Planet of the Vampires.
Huh?
Directed by Mario Bava. The Planet of the Vampires was first released in 1965 and was based on sci-fi short One Night of 21 Hours. The film follows the terrors experienced by the crew members of two spaceships that crash land on a mysterious planet. Those who did not survive are later possessed by disembodied spirits. Wan, who hinted that the horrors of the underwater world in the first Aquaman movie via the visually stunning trench scene, believes that fans will be more receptive to exploring the darker underbelly of the sea in the upcoming sequel.
Makes a lot of sense to inject more horror into the franchise as it goes on.
Because that's what he's known for. That's what he, but then again, Fast and Furious 7 was also another $1 billion movie that didn't have any horror elements and relied heavily on comedy.
And Aquaman was another $1 billion movie.
Exactly. That relied on the trench scene was beautifully shot, by the way. I love the way that scene looks. Mm-hmm. But the movie was more action adventure. Yeah. The movie was more all that stuff.
I hope he doesn't lose focus of that in the sequel,
Well, here's the thing. So here's Juan's words on this one. He says, well, the first movie took a lot of people by surprise, and that's partially because they were not familiar with the comic book, which deals in this very lurid, strange world. People were taken aback that I didn't throw all that stuff away and make a dark, heavy film, but I didn't feel that would have been right for it. So with the second film, I feel it'll be easier for people to accept where we go because I've already laid the foundation. And that's true. Yeah. That is true.
You lay the foundation in your original movie, and then you're able to experiment more.
Oh, 100%. But here's the thing, RJ. All right, let's be honest with ourselves here. What was the first movie? Really, what was the first project that Walter Hamada greenlit?
The Trench?
Uh-huh. And what got canceled?
The Trench.
So what probably got folded into Aquaman 2?
No, you don't think. Well, The Trench in the New 52 was its own little storyline that could be a movie. I mean, Aquaman 2 exploring the lost kingdom of the Trench. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know either, but that's something that I feel at this point that they're probably going.
Or maybe they canceled it because they realized they were already kind of doing some horror concepts in the sequel, so they really need to do a separate horror movie.
Well, right? From the time he greenlit it to the time the thing came out, they could have already done The Trench. I'm just saying they really kind of borked it.
Yeah,
they really kind of
interesting to think about.
Well, I'm just saying it's I think
it's already filming, right? Aquaman 2.
Yes, it's filming right now. Yeah.
Okay.
I do feel that a lot of what they're doing with it is they're going to they're gonna fold a lot of it in. It just seems to make the most amount of sense that's gonna happen with that. But anyway, that's kind of what's been going on with all that. That's really all of the stories I got. We kind of went off on a much longer tangent about other things.
A surprise Eternals trailer and South.
Yeah, you never know what's gonna happen on this. So I guess we'll bring up here that I'll bring up that Salute trailer that people.
Yeah, I got that 40K trailer, right?
Yeah. Do you remember what the thing was called?
Oh my gosh!
It was no. I can find it. Hold on, I can find it. I think I can find it.
It started with a T.
it's a Pyramid cinematic trailer. There's been a new weird thing on here. Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. Let me find command unit. All right, command unit. He's done a couple of them in here. Tyrannid introduction cinema. All right, let me find this one here. It's like 3 minutes and 28 seconds. Cool. All right, so we'll do Tyrannid real quick, and then we'll do the salute, and that should probably be pretty good because that's going to get me fucking already hit with a couple copyright ID claims. So, you know, this is what I do for you guys. I love you guys that I put my channel in dire straits to watch stuff with you so we can have a good time. Oh, God damn it. I don't know if that fucking worked or not. I always forget to hit select audio as well. Share audio. Okay, there we go. All right, let me bring this one up here. Let's give this thing a whirl. Oops, there we go.
The Tyrannids, the great devourer. In all the stars, there has never been a Xenos race more inimical to the survival of mankind. Indeed, they are the bane of all other life. Their origins are but poorly understood. The stuff of rumor and supposition and nightmare. The adepts of Mars believe that a single unknowable consciousness guides the Hive fleets about their voracious purpose. This consciousness knows only unquenchable hunger.
I love how it looks like hands reaching out.
Hive ships serve as synapse nodes, spreading the influence of the Tyrannid hive mind across the stars. Such is the hive mind's suffocating will that the warp is distorted for light years around. Confusion and terror spread before the hive fleets advance, as dreams darken and madness spreads. As the hive fleets advance, the suffocating embrace quenches the Emperor's light and drowns doomed worlds in psychic shadow. But the greatest threat comes from within. Foul creatures known as gene stealers infiltrate unvigilant worlds. A patriarch arises from the population's subverted flesh and projects a psychic beacon to draw the Hive fleet ever closer. As the gene stealer cult grows in power, they emerge from the shadows of their benighted world. Civil war rages, shaking the planet asunder. Then the skies darken with spores and the Hive fleet's voracious tendrils. The cultists exult at the fulfillment of prophecy and their ascension into the light. Their delusions die with them. There are many Hive fleets, each but a facet of the immeasurable Tyrannid threat. Leviathan is the greatest, and has wrought ruin on a scale never before witnessed. Though the great rift arising from Cadia's ruin has severed many of Leviathan's tendrils, many more remain. Even now, one is surging towards the Eye of Terror.
All right.
That was dope.
Yeah, that looked really interesting.
Yeah.
The entire 40K timeline in 20 minutes. All right, I'll have to check that one out. Okay, where is that? Here is, that's the other one there. All right, there is this one. We'll just bring it up and we'll just go from there. This is the Salute 7.
Salute 7.
Salute.
Salute.
Oscillations persist within tolerance. Yaw, pitch, and roll within norm.
We lost signal.
We have no control of the ship.
There it is. Reducing lateral velocity.
Nobody has ever docked with an uncontrolled vessel in orbit. Holy crap. Kind of pretty.
Hi, Daddy.
Hi there, honey.
Way up in the sky?
That's right, way up.
Are you coming back soon?
The oxygen supply station burned up.
Kind of reminds me of like Gravity.
Yeah, a little bit.
That NASA scheduled to launch the Challenger on the 30th.
Are you trying to tell us the Americans want to steal our station?
They used up most of the oxygen.
Every atom of oxygen, every breath counts!
There's only enough for one of you to make it back to Earth.
Come back to us.
Come in, come in.
Vladimir, Victor, do you read me?
Huh. So it's a Russian film, right?
Yeah, it's a Russian film.
Okay.
See it in 2D and 3D and IMAX 3D as well. It looks just like Gravity.
Yeah, it kind of does. I was going to mention it's interesting because like a lot of space movies, you know, we see it from the perspective of Americans, right? Or the Russians are the bad guys. Interesting, like a Russian space film, like Americans, or like it's the opposite.
No, that's definitely fascinating. I do. Hold on, I do think that's it looked good. It looked compelling. The dubbing. I might watch. I probably would rather watch it with like, let's say, with like, you know, with dubs or with subs and stuff, because I think that would probably be a little bit better. But it did feel quite a bit like Gravity, and that came out in what
2013.
2013, I think, is when Gravity came out. So I mean, it just feels very similar to that, and that's, you know, I mean, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. There's nothing too wrong with that. Here we go. This is the one I wanted to show you.
Oh no!
This is Orgasmo. This is from 1997.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah, yes. And then we're gonna wind it down, guys. We're gonna probably just finish out on this one because we're already going a little bit longer than I'd like, but that's okay. So let's go out on a laugh.
Come to Hollywood.
In a city of sin.
What would you say if someone offered you peace and happiness through all of eternity?
He was a missionary.
Have a nice day.
On a mission.
Hi, my name's Joseph Young. We're with the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Boss? Some guys from Jesus?
Are you making a movie here?
Yeah.
Well, what kind of movie is it?
It's an action...
Need a hand?
Adventure...
That's handiwork.
Porno.
You make me so horny.
Like as in pornographic?
And I want you to take over as the leading man in my film.
Come on, boys. Grease them up.
And action!
Give it to me, you big stud!
Check that out, man.
Keep your mouth shut!
Sorry, dude. Got a little excited. I can't. See, I have a fiance.
$20,000.
Is it enough so that we can get married?
It's $20,000. I have to think about this.
Yeah. You start at 10 o'clock. Have you met our new Orgasmo?
Your Orgasmo. I'm your sidekick.
My sidekick?
I help you out with my specially designed sex toys.
Oh.
Action!
Not afraid of Orgasmo.
Did someone say my name?
Come on, boys. Let's get it on.
Yes, sir. This is supposed to be erotic. Do you want your money or not?
I have had enough of your poop. Get out of here. You don't own me.
You want to bet I don't, punk?
Find yourself another Orgasmo.
Joe, help me.
Lisa, what?
Will you shut up?
Orbison took my cupcake.
You and I need to do something. It's the Orgasmerator. I made it work.
No, you're putting me on.
You can use the Orgasmerator as a weapon.
Where's my fiancée, buttlord?
Who the hell are you?
I'm Orgasmo.
Curses!
Here to save Hollywood.
Man, these European videos are kinky.
That's a bad dog.
And then the world.
Farewell, evildoers.
Orgasmo.
You know, I don't want to sound like a queer or nothing, but I think you've got a really nice ass.
Battling evil has never felt so good. Orgasmo.
Yeah, there you go, buddy. Get some.
Trey Parker and Matt Stone. Wow.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
That is Orgasmo. That is an NC-17 movie.
Oh, it's NC-17.
NC-17, yes. I had to go to a local kind of boutique video store when that came out in order to get my hands on it to rent it. So it was not in Blockbuster. It was not in Hollywood Video. I had to go to a little place with one of those back rooms we all know about.
Mm-hmm. With the black drape over it.
A little place called Impulse Video. That was awesome. I loved Impulse Video. But they had they had a copy of it, and I got it, went home and I watched it. And the thing is, it's got the same music. If you like the music in Team America, the same kind of their band DVDA does like the music for Orgasmo too. They have this. Have you ever heard the song like "Now You're a Man"? Like now you're a man, a manny man. It's totally Trey Parker. It's like that's their band DVDA, which by the way stands for double vaginal, double anal.
Of course it does.
Which is the part in the trailer when the old woman's like, "All right, boys, grease up." She's brought in specifically for a DVDA scene. So yeah, you gotta check it out. Didn't Ron Jeremy do a cameo? He's not a cameo. He's a full-on character in the movie. Is that one. No, Anthony, I'm not doing voicemails tonight, buddy. And then, like the soundtrack is the best part. I don't know why they don't have Now You're a Man in the trailer. I don't know either. It's great shit. Fucking gotta love it, man. Gotta love it. Anyway, guys, that brings Hollywood After Dark to the end. I appreciate everybody tuning in for this episode. We had a wild ride, the Eternals trailer. Talked about South Park for a while. Mm-hmm. We gotta tell you about stuff going on over on Twitter or on Twitch. Amaranth here. Yeah. That's yeah. She had like 10,500 people watching her suck on this thing. All I'm saying is I'm really in the wrong business at this point is really what I'm trying to say. But remember to like it because Miss Minutes is going to cap a bitch if you don't like the video. And if you want to help support it, become a channel member today, get your name on the list and potentially win a copy of 4K Duck Titties. Howard the Duck, folks. After this last episode of What If, you're going to want to get this amazing 1987 film. The very first Marvel movie, by the way. Mm-hmm. So you guys don't know
first Marvel movie in the first
Marvel.
Yeah. It's iconic
all right.
film.
It's super, super duper iconic. All right, guys. Thank you all so much. Have yourself a great evening. And I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out.